$800 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone with zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Now, here's a chance for Hall. Breaks in, gets his shot, he scores! Taylor Hall gets Carolina on the board. He got loose, and the man leads the Canes in points, puts Carolina in the lead. It's 1-0. And now Stankoven with a turnover out in front for Blake, still loose. Stankoven shot, save Hart. Second chance for Stankoven, save Hart. Now they're going up to score! Jackson Blake in the slot, and it's 2-0. Carolina, Blake having a great postseason and puts the Canes up to a large 2-0 lead. 6:29 left in the second.
It's the Adam Gold Show. What is up? Victoria producing the program.
You're back in the studio for the second day
2 days in a row.
Look at this. We'll make it 3 tomorrow, and then the weekend.
Yeah, we haven't had consecutive
No.
days in the studio in a minute.
No.
Maybe since the playoffs, since the final started, right?
Think so. It feels like a long time, but what is time?
What is time?
It's just all a blur.
What is time? I agree. Yeah, so we'll be back here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Very excited to be here tomorrow.
For a Friday in person.
That's right. I know tomorrow we'll probably spend a little bit of time on the College World Series. Carolina's, Carolina, Oklahoma, for all of the all whatever you can get in Omaha, for all the steaks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Omaha steaks.
Yeah, it's a thing. Do they still sell those out of trucks? They used to.
Well, they mail them to you, right?
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of a different thing.
I mean,
feel like there used to be a truck that would drive around trying
It's
to
not
sell
like the
you.
Good Humor Man. Did you have the ice cream truck come around to your neighborhood as a kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen now. Actually, I'm not sure how many places it happens anymore.
Right. Yeah, well, I will say, I haven't heard it yet, but every now and again, they'll venture out in my neck of the woods. Yeah.
Okay.
Which shocked me.
So there were two different, types of truck.
Yeah.
That showed up in your neighborhood, especially now as it's getting much warmer. In the summer, you would have the Good Humor truck, which was smaller, and had the door on the side and the door in the back.
Right.
And I mean, we all got what we wanted, whatever. And then there was the Mr. Softy, which was the Good Humor was prepackaged,
right?
It's
where you could get the strawberry shortcakes or the sponge
toasted. I was a toasted almond guy.
Oh, there you go.
Toasted almond, very good.
Yep. And
then the Mr. Softy, which was a lot of soft serve, custard, things like that.
That one never came around.
I was a good humor, a good humor man.
Yeah.
That was my neighborhood, and a friend of mine, one of my best friends as a kid growing up, they got the Mr. Softy truck. I don't know why it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
I don't know. Competition. Competition makes you better.
Your neighborhood was the same as mine.
No idea. I lived in an apartment complex as a kid.
Oh,
and he lived in,
yeah.
it was in a much different tax bracket, I guess. I don't
You're
know.
right. Oh, that would
like
make
that.
sense because it feels like it'd be more expensive than the Good Humor guy.
No, it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same. I don't know.
You know what I did see, speaking of Good Humor guy or ice cream trucks, in Florida, I thought, oh, this is amazing. They had the ice cream trucks go, across the beach, down the
Right.
sand, kids like
Ice cream trucks on the beach?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Which I thought was amazing. And then in my adult brain, I'm like,
In a Jeep.
why don't they have frozen beverages, like a truck with frozen beverages for the parents or just the adults on the beach?
Right.
And then sure enough,
Well,
10 minutes later, here comes a little
you missed it.
car with slushies.
You could have been the person who invented that.
I know.
So I've used this before in commercials. I kid you not. Do you know what a crazy straw is?
Oh, the ones that are all looped-y and yeah. Mm-hmm.
One of my father's best friends from high school invented it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Stupid.
Yeah, right. He's there with like Post-it note guy.
Yeah.
Like all
So,
the stuff that you didn't know you needed or wanted.
He invented the crazy straw.
Yeah.
And sold the patent to, I think he sold it to Disney.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, I mean, he sold it.
A long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like in the early 60s.
Right.
To Disney.
So
but
he's
still
still
at the
working.
time, still.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's no longer signing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go.
Wow. Crazy inventions.
It seems like we could have invented that. I could have invented the Pop-Tart. Why didn't I?
Right?
Why was I late?
I know. We
That's
got
because I was
get the wheel spinning.
I was too busy thinking about the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
By the way, congratulations. Like another major sporting event started while I wasn't paying attention. The U.S. Open.
Yeah.
So all consumed by the Stanley Cup. We're going to talk a little bit about that as obviously still because we're all still giddy from it. We have the celebration coming up on Saturday. So I was all consumed by that. Now, I didn't miss the start of the World Cup, but I didn't really get into, I had really planned on digging in and like getting to know a lot more of the teams that I don't otherwise know about. Like I know about the top. I know about, France and England and Spain and Brazil. And I know about all the top nations. U.S., not a top nation, but I don't know. They played pretty well to open in their second matches tomorrow against Australia, which we don't know if Christian Pulisic is going to play. He's got a calf injury. He's training away from the team. I don't know why you would have to train away from the team other than they're trying to keep it secret. Whatever.
Yeah.
He's not the only one. There's other players who are training away from their teams. But I thought I was going to have time to dig in, and no, man, I didn't have any time to do that.
No.
Because I was kind of otherwise not only busy with like travel and games. Heck, I was on a plane for how long? I could have done a lot of reading. I was just consumed with other things that had to do with the Stanley Cup run. And, I mean, it was so much fun to be a part of. And that's going to be a little bit of the theme of what we're going to talk about today, because what we experienced here, very different from what they would have experienced in places that don't have to explain themselves to the hockey universe. So if the Rangers win,
yeah,
and I'm not like I have nothing against the Rangers other than they're the Rangers. But if the Rangers win, nobody is trying to explain the sport to them, right? If Toronto wins, other than by all means play a lottery because it's about the same. If Toronto wins, we don't have to explain the sport to them.
No.
But here, when Carolina wins,
Sneaks in.
we have to play the game. Well, they didn't play Florida, so maybe there should be an asterisk.
An easy path.
Come on. Anyway, so and they talk to us like we have no idea if the puck is stuffed, inflated, or whatever.
Oh, right.
Right?
Is it a Klondike bar?
What is it?
Yeah.
What exactly is that? They're mansplaining. They're hockey splaining to
Yeah.
us all the time. So it's new to us in a way because we've only had the team here for coming up on 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like the start of this upcoming season actually will be the 29th season because we lost the 04-05 season. 97-98 was the first year. So we're coming up to 26-27. So that would be otherwise 30, if I'm not mistaken. But we lost a year, so
Yeah.
29th season. So it is still in many ways new. And when Carolina started to become good in 02, this is true. When they ended up going to the Stanley Cup Finals in 02, they had trouble selling first round tickets in the 02 to the 02 season, 02 playoffs. First round was against the Devils that year. One of the most fun series that I have ever covered. But they really didn't. It wasn't like now where not only will the Hurricanes sell out Stanley Cup tickets at exorbitant prices, but and also sell out Lenovo Center when they're not even playing a game there.
When players are not in the building. Yeah.
Right, but they would sell out or come close to it in 02, but it was a late thing. It wasn't like tickets were gone in 10 minutes. So this whole thing has been a process. And what happened Sunday in Vegas, which was really, they were the best team. And I think it would be really great if people just kind of figured it out. But it's okay. They'll just have to do it again next year.
Yep.
Just to say, see, this wasn't because this team wasn't here or, Vegas had X amount of injuries.
Yeah.
Clearly Mark Stone was clinically dead.
Right.
And that he was only propped up as Weekend at Bernie's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the whole thing. They just have had a hard time coming to grips. This is like the hockey universe. Have had a hard time coming to grips with, you know what? They just might have been the best team.
Yeah.
And it is a team sport. And yes, the Hurricanes were healthy, and it certainly helped to have played 8 games to get out of 2 series. But it's not like that first series was easy, right? The Ottawa Senators weren't easy. Those were 4 difficult games for Carolina to win. They just won them all, which is what Carolina did basically all season long, was figure out ways to win. Didn't always look great, but they won, and they didn't win maybe as many games in regulation as a lot of people would have liked. But I also think that Carolina, it took them a while to really figure out, not who they were, but it took a while for everybody to start playing well at the same time. I think we were probably 3 or 4 months into the season, and we all basically said, yeah, I think there's another couple of levels for this team to get to.
Right.
They were getting by with their system, their style, the fact that they played hard every single game. And when you do that, you're going to win games because the other team can't do that all the time. Carolina
Rod's system worked. Look at that.
Yeah, well, it was not just the system, it's the fact that for however he was able to do it, they instilled the ability to play with maximum effort every night. And professional sports does not allow that to happen really anywhere, except it happens here. And when you play at maximum effort, basically every single game, it's going to cover up for a lot of, we'll just say mistakes. You're going to be able to overcome that because it is very, very difficult to bring that level of energy and effort every night. And that's what Carolina, part of, and I talked about the Hurricane superpower all year, being their mental toughness. That's what that is. We're just going to keep coming at you, even if we're kind of messy in a bunch of other areas. We're still going to win this game because we're just going to play harder than you. And then you add into the fact that Carolina had a lot of good players, a ton of good players, and they had depth and all of that. And they were able to overcome. They did not have great goaltending.
No.
Look, if you went back and you looked at Carolina's goaltending for the season, you would see a team that was in the bottom third, maybe bottom quarter of the NHL in terms of goaltending. And yet, they had the second most points in the league.
Right.
How do you overcome that? You overcome that with, obviously have a great roster, but it didn't have superstars, and it didn't have, like, Sebastian Aho, I believe, was the only player who was a point a game. He was 80 points in 79 games. That was it. They didn't have anybody else who had hit 80 points. But they do it with, obviously, they play well defensively, but it's really about effort. And the overtime stuff was, that was what they kind of do a lot.
Yeah.
They've mastered the art of the 3-on-3, which those are bonus points. I would love it if the NHL would go to a 3-2-1 point system to reward teams that win in regulation more than teams that need either overtime or a shootout. I would get rid of the shootouts. That's just me. I would ultimately, I'd play 3-on-3 until we got a winner. We're going to get a winner.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah, I don't think we'd go beyond 5 minutes all that often without the shootout. Maybe you'll get to 6 or 7 minutes. We play 7 minutes 3-on-3. That's not going to kill anybody. I just think the shootout is a terrible way to decide any game. But I get, whatever. It's probably a very small issue for the NHL. But anyway, the larger point was that we're all a little tired of dealing with the whatabouts and asterisk conversations. I've done the entire open of the show, but let's start anyway. Let's get it started in here. U.S. Open started today too. By the way. Last check, Ludwig Åberg is among the leaders at 1 under par. So they had a fog delay at Shinnecock out on the far eastern tip of Long Island. They had a fog delay. They are expecting winds to be near 40 miles an hour during the afternoon rounds. If the wind blows like that, it's very possible that they will have to suspend play. That's the first thing. It all depends on how fast the greens. If you can't mark a ball on the green and have it stay, if the wind blows that ball, off its mark, they will suspend play. I've seen them do it in other tournaments. I've seen them do it at an Open Championship. I have not seen them do that at a U.S. Open, but I don't know that I've seen wind gusts in excess of 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That could happen this afternoon. But they are expecting more. They are expecting rain, I believe, over the weekend, maybe even tomorrow out there. But right now the leading scorer, and we have almost half the field on the golf course already because there was a 2-hour fog delay. So right now, what is it? It's just after, little after 12:15. So right now, they're legitimately 2 hours behind. So, yeah, just about everybody, the first half of the field is on the course. So I don't know if we're going to get it all in today because these U.S. Open opening rounds with 3 players each, it takes a long time to play a U.S. Open round of golf. So who knows if they're going to be able to complete play tonight. Anyway, it is still surprising that the leading score right now is 1 under par.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Again, a lot of that is it's cool and it's breezy now.
Yeah.
But wait till the wind really picks up and we could be dealing with, high scores. And I think a lot of people don't mind to watch the best players in the world suffer a little bit. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. And I know there are people that hate it, but I'm not one of those people. I don't mind it when these guys struggle to do what they normally do comfortably, because I think the U.S. Open is supposed to do that. So we'll do that. Bob Harig, by the way, will join us a little bit later on. The Knicks parade apparently is today.
Right.
They're going to shut down and probably burn down Manhattan at some point.
Right.
And, they have not won a title since 73. Those people have a whole bunch of pent-up aggression.
Apparently.
Right? So good for them. But the NBA draft is coming up in just, a week or so.
Wow.
Right? But is it a week I think it's a week from today is the first, well, I guess there's only 2 rounds, is the NBA draft.
June 23rd and 24th.
Oh, so it's the first round is today's the 18th?
Mm-hmm.
So Wednesday is the first round. No, Tuesday is the first round.
Tuesday
and Wednesday is the second round.
Yep.
And could Cam Boozer go 1? Could Caleb Wilson go 1? I don't think he's going to go 1, but I'm here to tell you that I think I would take Caleb Wilson over every other player in this draft. Doesn't mean that's going to happen. Doesn't mean I'm right. But I think he's got the most upside to be an unplayable player.
Yeah.
If he develops a jump shot, a legitimate long-range jump shot, I don't think you can guard him. So, and Cam Boozer is a great player too, so I could see him going 1, but I think it's going to be A.J. Debanza. But anyway, we'll talk to Konata Edwards about that.
Nice.
Because, why not talk to him? And Corey Lavalette from the North State Journal and The Athletic will come by a little bit later on, and we'll discuss state of the Hurricanes. And also, and let me just bring this up. This started happening a lot during the playoffs, and I was just not interested. I didn't have the bandwidth to think about like future versions of the Hurricanes. Well, what changes would they make? And it's funny, we have a lot of amateur general managers on Twitter, which is fine. I am not knocking it, but I think there's an example in what Carolina has done recently that should inform us going forward. There is no debate over who the better player is between Mikko Rantanen and Logan Stankoven. Can we all agree on that?
Right.
There is no debate.
No.
Who's the better player? We know the answer is Rantanen. That's fine. But the conversation is, does that player fit in with what you do? Now, I think that people have completely distorted Rantanen's however many games it was. It wasn't a lot. Here, his stay here. I think they have completely screwed that up. Because Rantanen initially was very good. First 8 games prior to 4 Nations, however long that period was, I actually think he was very good.
Right.
And I think he and Jackson Blake, and I've talked to Blake about this, probably should have each had 2 points a game for the 8 games that it was Aho centering Rantanen and Blake. Mm-hmm. Aho was poor during that stretch. He was clearly trying too hard because he and Rantanen are friends. And he wanted Mikko to stay here, wanted to play with Mikko Rantanen. And so Aho was completely all out of sorts. But Blake and Rantanen had immediate chemistry.
They did.
For some reason, the puck refused to go in. They would hit posts or a goalie would make a great save. They were just snake bit. Mm-hmm. But if you go back and you were to watch those games, you would have said the exact same thing I said on every aftermath during that span, which was like, I don't know how they didn't score 3 goals. But they just weren't. And then after Four Nations, when Rantanen and his fiancée had made the decision that they were not re-signing, that's where the play dropped off. And I realized that last impression is what we're all going to remember. But that's where the play dropped off. But the play before Four Nations was really good. It wasn't productive. So we sit around and we go, well, he didn't fit. Well, I don't know. They were making it work somehow. And I will say this. Not everybody on your team has to play exactly the same way. And this just in. The Hurricanes did have different styles of play this year. They did. Shocking. So, but nobody's going to debate whether Rantanen's better than Stankoven. But we can decide after watching it for a year plus that Stankoven, Taylor Hall, this version, what that trade allowed you to do, which was acquire Keandre Miller.
Yep.
Yeah, Carolina's way better off with what they've got than what they would have had Rantanen worked out. If Mikko Rantanen was a 95-point player here, that would be awesome. But would we be better as a team with him than we are and were with Stankoven, Hall, and Miller? I think the answer is no.
Right.
I think what we saw from Carolina is, and I honestly believe that this Carolina team can get better.
Yeah.
I think they can get better.
And we have a bunch of these guys staying, so they have the opportunity.
Yeah, but they still need to get better as a team. We'll talk about that throughout the program. Let's take our first break. Al Hood from Canes Country. I don't think we're going to use Al Hood from Tar Heel Blog today, but maybe. Al Hood from Canes Country, who has a very interesting perspective on what this cup means, because he's been a fan since the beginning. As I guess a lot of us have. Al Hood joins us next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
After 20 years, the wait is over.
5 seconds away. Played out. And the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup. It's yours, Carolina.
Such a great story with this team. I mean, you dig into it, it's amazing, and I'm just really proud.
Your official home for the Stanley Cup champion Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Congratulations to the 2026 Stanley Cup champion, Carolina Hurricanes.
Congratulations, Canes, from Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, proud partner of the Stanley Cup champions.
A bull riding contest. I'm signing up.
You've never ridden a bull.
No, but I won playing a new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-off, and I'm on a roll.
But they're loaded with $50, $100, and $200 prizes.
Oh, I'm riding the Widowmaker.
Go for the win with new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-offs and digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.72 to 4.75. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
It's Men's Health Month. WakeMed Primary Care wants to remind you to schedule your annual checkup. It's important to know your health numbers related to cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight, and BMI before it leads to chronic diseases. Focus on your health and preventing disease by building healthy habits and getting that yearly checkup and those screenings that you've been putting off. To schedule your appointment, visit wakemed.org. Once again, that's wakemed.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You could argue that making jewelry by hand is yesterday's way of doing it. You could claim that being particular about custom design and old-world craftsmanship slows down the process. You could call us old-fashioned, and you'd be right. Because the heart and soul of Bailey's is our workshop, where skilled craftsmen create heirlooms meant to last for generations. Come see why we've been voted the best jeweler year after year. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. This is Adam Gold.
I told Tim, who does the afternoon show, I said, I'm about to turn this game around. We need Cheez-Its. So I went to go get magical Lucky Cheez-Its, and guess what? Boom. Period 2, tied it up. And then at the end of the game, I still had like 8 Cheez-Its in the cup left, and I said, Lucky Cheez-Its.
There you go.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Al Hood's going to join us, Canes Country, in just a minute. Victoria is producing the program. According to the latest, from the Brendan Sorsby thing, the agent Ron Slavin, no relation to Jacob, claims that Cincinnati knew about his gambling addiction for 2 years but didn't say anything. Cincinnati denies the story. Texas Tech, as a university right now, and I'm not suggesting that Ron Slavin, as the agent for Brendan Sorsby, is essentially carrying the water for Texas Tech, but there is so much blaming going on that where Texas Tech is pointing the finger elsewhere and other people are pointing the finger somewhere else. It seems to me that, and I've never bought for 1 second, sorry about this, I am not minimizing addiction at all, but I have never bought for 1 second that Brendan Sorsby, that this wasn't just triggered by, oh, look, it's become public. Oh, now I'm checking in. He's been gambling on sports probably before he got to college. But anyway, my point is all of this remorse is very convenient. And Texas Tech, once it started, now all they're thinking about is, well, how can we get him eligible? Well, he's not. He's going to the supplemental draft. Question I didn't get a chance to ask Chip yesterday, maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow with somebody else, was the dude has a gambling problem. How's that going to work in the NFL? Is there a team that, he's a quarterback, so somebody's going to take a chance on him in a supplemental draft, or maybe not. I don't know, but he certainly doesn't help his cause, if that's the problem. Al Hood, who doesn't need to help his cause at all. Al B. Hood on Twitter, Canes Country, joining us on the Adam Gold Show. Very, very moving from the heart piece about what the Stanley Cup meant to you. So without usurping your own thoughts here, for people who haven't checked it out at Canes Country, and I retweeted it yesterday, just what did this whole process? I know you're an original Caniac. So what did this whole thing mean to you personally?
So I thank you, Adam, first off, for the love. I appreciate it. I tried to repay that in kind yesterday as I tweeted out the article. I don't know if I can summarize it within a few words. I said it when I tweeted out the article yesterday that it took a lot of work to try to keep it to where that the post was readable.
Yes.
Because the great thing about my gig with SB Nation, especially with Bob the editor, is that like you pretty much have carte blanche to say what you want. And obviously, with this type of win, the emotions are going to come out. But when they won the Cup 20 years ago, I wasn't living in the area, and there was no social media. The internet was still kind of in its infancy. So I'm out here celebrating, but kind of on an island. I'm happy, but people down in Beaumont, Texas, are like the Stanley Cup. What's this? You put water in it, you put oil in it, so you have.
Oil.
You have that aspect of it, the fact that I'm actually local and I actually can celebrate with the fellow Caniacs. As you referred to, the fact that I hooked on to this team when they were still playing in Greensboro.
Right.
Went to several games out there thanks to me being in college and the student rush tickets and whatnot. And then on this run in particular, this run, everybody knows this run started in 2018 with the hiring of Rod Brindamore. That was the same year I was diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer.
Right.
And I tell a story in there about how I was surprised with a gift that was linked to several people, including Mike Maniscalco.
Right.
And
it's cool to read my old friend Joey Powell's name in there too.
Yep.
Shouts to Joey.
He helped coordinate that. He's the one who sent it. Yep. Shout out to him. I've never forgotten it. And it was just one of those things where it was a continuation of the fact that there was just kindness, just this basic human event of kindness. This is a person that I know that I care about that is sick, and I want to do something to help him out. And my fandom was known by that point. So people all banded together, including Mike, who had never met me, and was like, okay, let's just get him this jersey. And that jersey was worn to my first chemo right after that.
Right.
So there's always been this link with this group. And then you fast forward 3 years later where they have Game 5 against the Predators. It's the first time I'd been inside Lenovo Center as a fan, or period, since all of that.
Right.
And when the Canes skated out on the ice, I just burst out into tears, which nobody, of course, noticed because they're all just thrilled with the fact that they're out of the house.
That's right. That was the back end of COVID.
Of COVID,
we were allowed.
Yeah, that was the.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the weird season where it started with basically nobody in the building, and as the vaccine came out, and as the playoffs progressed, and more people were vaccinated, Governor Cooper was able to open up the arena for people to come in and everything. So we took it as a sign and jumped in, and that's the one where Stahl won in overtime. Yep. There's another connection with Jordan Stahl winning in overtime. And then, fast forward to this year where I've had the amazing opportunity to not only be a fan, but to cover the team, to actually be up in media row and meet you, meet Ryan, meet Cory, get to know Mike a little bit better, talk to people that you just see on TV and you hear over the speakers, ask Rod questions that elicited laughs from the rest of the media that I hope weren't laughing at me, but were laughing with me. But just you wrap all of that together, and the link on all of that is just kindness. People see me and they're opening up their arms and allowing me to be a part of this in any way. Seeing fans from, as corny as it is, fans that root for different schools and different areas, like all uniting around this team and enjoying it, and seeing fans from other markets finally seeing what we've seen this whole time from this group and kind of jumping onto this team. So, the biggest thing I'm definitely going to take from this is kindness in terms of just how this all played out for me. And it's I'm probably doing a bad job of summarizing the whole thing, but maybe that just makes you want to read the post.
No, it's your story and your connection. For a lot of people, it was just a team, and that's fine. It's just like sports. Boiled down, professional sports is entertainment. But it also, I think, for a lot of people, it became, especially because of where we were, and this is why a lot of times when I sum up these things when it's over. And I, even throughout the course of the year, when the Hurricanes would clinch a playoff spot, I personally look at it as a time to go, let's just reset here and remember why this is important, why it is special to make the playoffs again. The Rangers have missed the last 2 years. Toronto just missed this year. Florida, through injury, really, missed out this season as well, even though we don't need an asterisk, and I think Carolina would have beaten Florida even if Florida was in the playoffs. But it doesn't matter that I think that, because we can't prove it. They were not there. They were not there for Carolina to beat. But I do think there are times where it's important to kind of reflect on how cool it is, what is going on. Now, if Carolina was winning Stanley Cups or making it to the Stanley Cup Finals on a routine basis, maybe it would be, hey, we won a championship. But this hits different for a lot of people because they've.
Absolutely.
I started this show, and I want your thoughts on this aspect of we were hockey splained to. And we're still getting hockey splained to, but especially if you follow, if you're on social media and you see all the clips coming from TSN or Sportsnet in Canada, and there are people who are clearly ignorant as to what this Hurricanes team is about. But I think we're all a little tired of being told how you were really lucky. You guys played the Mighty Mites and the old Ducks from the movie. You didn't even play professional teams in the playoffs. And then when you got to play Vegas, you hadn't really played any pros. You just been playing high school teams. I think we're all just tired of being whatabouted about this run.
No, I 100% agree with you. And when I hear all this stuff, and obviously the initial feeling is to be upset, but as you kind of alluded to in the lead-in, as I'm also a Tar Heel blog writer and a Tar Heel fan, I hear all of this stuff, and I think back to Dean Smith's championship press conference after he won in 1993, after the infamous timeout.
Yeah,
and he got a little frustrated by people always asking him about the fact that, hey, weren't you lucky that Chris Webber called the timeout? Weren't you lucky about all that? He was like, well, fine, call us lucky, but you're calling us national champions,
right? And they had the lead. They were leading.
That's ultimately what it is. That's ultimately what it is. So any fan, my advice for any fan that finds this stuff and their blood starts getting boiled on all of this, just remember, no matter how you put it, they don't put how you won the cup. They don't put what teams you beat to win the cup or any of that stuff. Your name is on the cup. The team has the name on the cup. They're celebrating this whole week like they don't care how they won it. They won it. So they can call us whatever they want, but the team is the Stanley Cup champions. Is ultimately where I kind of fall on that.
Now, let me ask you one more question. Al Hood, at Al B. Hood on Twitter, Canes Country. We will not be Al Hood from Tar Heel Blog today, even though later on I will talk a little bit about the Tar Heels against Oklahoma in the College World Series. We're going to take Jordan Staal out of the equation because the answer is always going to be for this. Jordan Staal, who are you which, hurricane are you the happiest for? There's probably 1,000 reasons why we are all happiest for Jordan Staal. But go down to maybe the second player on that list. Who are you happiest for?
I think it's a tie. It's a three-way tie.
That's a hedge.
It's
a hedge.
But
just saying.
It's a hedge. You know what? I'll pick one. I'm going to pick one. You know what? I will pick one that most people aren't going to think about.
Okay.
Jordan Martinook.
Okay.
Jordan Martinook. Because this is a guy, I know the story about him getting placed on waivers. It was a salary cap move. They did it because they knew no one was going to pick him up.
Correct.
And everybody understood it wasn't a we don't think you can compete type. It's a hey, your salary is the one that we can sneak under the wire, and you don't mean the same to teams that you mean to us, so
Correct.
we can become cap compliant. But it's a great story. Nevertheless, he is the embodiment of the type of player that this team has looked for. And everybody points to Staal, rightfully so. But this also started with Martinook coming that same year, being forgotten about. He was just a guy for most folks. What is it? Both his contracts that he signed, I think both times he signed them, it was basically because the Canes had essentially missed out on someone, and it was since we're not getting this guy, we're going to bring Martinook back,
right?
Because he's just the heart and soul of the team, and he has come to embrace Raleigh. He's come to embrace the city. He's embraced the town.
Yeah,
he has a ridiculously wonderful personality. I don't think it's a coincidence he was the first one dancing at Teats the other night. He is, of course, it was his account that let everybody know where the Canes were celebrating. Food, he loves the area so much to where he knows all the Raleigh places to eat, and if you need recommendations on where to go, he's the guy to go to. He's just embraced the area. And it just makes you happy to see someone who a lot of folks would be considered just a guy who we all know is one of the other hearts and souls of the team, and to have embraced the area and the fans as much as he has, to see it come to the fruition the way that it has.
I have to say, first of all, I refer to Martinook, and I actually said this to him on the ice on Sunday, and I wasn't the first time. I call him the culture, because to me he is the culture of the team.
Yeah,
and
100%.
The intangibles is why you have him around. Now, he is very tangible in what he does. I mean, it's measurable what he does. It's not it's not the kind of things that don't show up in the box score, not necessarily a box score, but it shows up in the data, all the stuff that he provides, right?
Adam, the thing is, Brandon Bussey rightfully took over the storyline as the quote-unquote coaching move of the final. But before that, the coaching move of the final was going to be swapping Jarvis and Martinook up with Svech and Aho. Svech and Aho, they were a completely different line once the spark plug. We all know Martinook as the spark plug. He is when someone is struggling, when a line is struggling, he gets put on that line because what happens is that is one less person that needs the puck. He focuses on defense. He focuses on his job. And it makes the job a little bit easier for the other folks on that line. And the moment that they did that, Aho and Svechnikov both took off. They had their best games in the Stanley Cup final from that moment on.
Al Hood, Canes Country, at Al B. Hood on Twitter. Great read. I tweeted it out yesterday. If you go to my timeline, you'll see it. Or you could just go to Al Hood's timeline, at Al B. Hood. Or just go to Canes Country and read it. I thank you very much, my friend. I will talk to you. See you soon.
Sounds good, Adam. Thank you so much.
You got it. Al Hood here on the Adam Gold Show. One-timers, you can ask any question you like, because we do the show live on YouTube, and there's a chat right there on the right-hand side. Go to YouTube, search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan, and we'll answer your questions in one-timers next.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
As public power customers, we experience fewer outages and faster restoration than customers of other electric providers. But the benefits of having a locally owned electric system go far beyond unbeaten reliability. Our local public power employees support our community, providing electric hookups for events, installing and maintaining ballpark lights, holiday lights, traffic lights, street lights, and more. Local people working together to meet local needs. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Are you ready to make a difference? Become Mental Health First Aid Certified with the Governor's Institute. This free one-day training will give you the skills to recognize, understand, and respond to mental health and substance use challenges. Whether you're a friend, coworker, or caregiver, you can be the support someone needs. The training is available in person or online and is open to everyone. No experience required. Take the first step today. Visit milvetacademy.org to learn more.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card 7 years in a row, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops. Our philosophy is simple: be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
I'm the threat that's already inside the house. In the closet, under the bed, in the car. But I don't want your money or your TV. I can't be scared away or negotiated with. I'm patient and quiet. I don't sleep. You can't call the cops on me. You can't even see me. I'm the threat of family fire. And as long as your guns aren't stored securely, I'll be there. Protect your family. Secure all your guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Have you ever considered a career as a public power line worker? Line workers in public power communities keep the electricity flowing to families and businesses. As a public power line worker, you're part of a team that builds and maintains a locally owned and operated electric system. You can work close to home, grow your career, and support your local community by providing safe, reliable, and sustainable electricity. Learn more about public power and careers in public power at electricities.com.
Carolina Complete Health. From neighborhoods in Charlotte to families in Greensboro, Raleigh, and Durham, all the way to Asheville and Wilmington, and everything in between. We are here for communities across North Carolina, connecting you to the care and support you need. We are here to make healthcare easier to access and understand. We are here to bridge the gap, because your health matters. Your community matters. You matter. We are here for your health. Visit hereforyourhealthnc.com.
Every second counts in a poison emergency. That's why Poison Help is standing by 24/7 to provide free assistance in over 100 languages. Save Poison Help as a contact in your phone today. Poison Help. 1-800-222-1222.
This is Adam Gold.
He doesn't have many years to choose from.
No, and part of that was COVID. Nobody's picking COVID.
COVID was a great year.
Yeah.
Look, if you invested in Zoom,
oh, that was a good year. Yes.
You had a good year during COVID.
Yep.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. Bob Harig at the U.S. Open at 1 o'clock. One-timers right now.
Okay, so kicking things off, we have William. Will the winning score at the U.S. Open flirt with being over par?
Yes. Yes, it will flirt with it. I think it'll be under par, but I think it will be lower than 5 under par. I think the winning score, as a matter of fact, there might be just one player under par when we are done. Right now, the lead is 1. And I'm not sure we're going to have more favorable scoring conditions than we already have.
Yeah.
This does not look like a picnic.
Right. No, it does not. Next up, we have a couple that tweeted at me yesterday and we didn't have time for. First up, Chuck, do you know of any way to track the progress of the Stanley Cup as it travels through Raleigh? Is there an app, perhaps?
We should have a GPS on it.
There should be.
It's fun. No, I don't know if there's a way to do that.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're on social media, I think you've seen it.
Right.
You've pretty much, it's been everywhere.
Yeah. It was just at Rodino's, I think, yesterday or the
was
day
it?
before.
Nice. Which one? There's a lot of Rodinos.
Yeah, I think, what is it, towards North Hills? I don't know, somewhere around here.
Because there's one at Old Raleigh Village.
Oh, that's
Probably where they were.
And then the other one from Levi. What do you think the Canes' chances of signing Sergei Bobrovsky is in the offseason? Is that a good move?
Is it a good move? I don't know if it's a good move. I don't know what Sergei Bobrovsky last year stunk. So do you want a bad goalie? I don't know what Bobrovsky is anymore. I really don't. So I don't think the chances are great.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Next up, from Comebread. Now that Carolina has proven their system can work, are we going to see players like Aho and Stahl actually get nominated for awards next season, since folks will actually watch Carolina play?
Well, I'm not sure that Aho really deserved to be nominated for an award. That's not a knock on Sebastian Aho. Jordan Stahl, I already said it. He'll win the Selke next year. I don't care what year he has. He's going to win the Selke. Rod Brindamore won back-to-back Selke Awards after the 2006 Stanley Cup. I think Jordan Stahl win the Selke next year.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoots, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, biggest sporting event in the world going on right now in North America, and we'll be dealing with it every day, basically, until the middle of July. Frankly, I love it. And FanDuel's got a great idea. It's called the Super Sub, because you can bet an anytime goal scorer, and if that guy comes off in the 60th minute, you're out of luck, right? Not with FanDuel, because you get the guy who subs on for him. For instance, the Three Lions had a winger who played last year at Newcastle. Next year will play at Barcelona. He was subbed off in the 72nd minute without scoring. The guy who subbed on for him, who played last year at Barcelona and might again, he scored. So if you did the FanDuel Super Sub, you got that guy. So you're a winner. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel.com/local. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Golf's third major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the U.S. Open from Shinnecock Hills. Find out if J.J. Spawn can recreate last year's magic or if a new champion emerges. Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the Champions Trophy. Coverage of the U.S. Open on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina.
When sleep isn't working, everything feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist, but untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast, coordinated support, so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time.
time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bo Bites. Bite-sized, hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bo Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's Bo time.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to protect people's health, to preserve magnificent places and wildlife, and to combat climate change. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs, 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
Now the face-off at center ice. Net still empty for Vegas. And now here's a turnover. A chance for Ehlers. Bingo! 3-0 Carolina. And you can start to polish the Stanley Cup. The Canes right now are 68 seconds away from winning their second NHL title.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. That was Mike Maniscalco talking about or telling you about Nick Ehlers' empty net goal that pretty much cemented that the Hurricanes are going to win the Stanley Cup. And it was that run that completely distracted me from what is, for me, the best major of the year every year. No offense to the Masters or the PGA, which have already been contested. The Open Championship is my favorite to watch. The U.S. Open, for me, hits differently. I think it is the hardest golf tournament to win. I think it is the one that, for the most part, and they're all very different, for the most part, the USGA tries to, some will say, embarrass the best golfers in the world. I would say they just try to expose the flaws of every player by making it super hard, including how mentally tough you are. And some golfers are better at it than others. But anyway, I completely missed the lead-up. When the Stanley Cup was over, I realized as I was flying back Monday on a red-eye, I'm like, wait a second. The U.S. Open starts Thursday. Awesome. Even more awesome. Bob Harig. Now you can check Bob out, the Daily Drive on Substack. And thankfully there was a fog delay of 2 hours, so Bob isn't too busy watching players finish their opening rounds right now, and he joins us on the Adam Gold Show, also Sirius XM, and Tiger versus Jack. We all know the answer to that, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. Bob Harig joins us on the Adam Gold Show. How are you? How's Shinnecock? How's everything going on?
Oh, great, Adam. So far, so good. Shinnecock is kind of living up to its rep. It's, it's an amazing place, historic place, and it's tough out there right now. And I don't even know if we have the worst of the wind yet.
No.
So I think it's going to be a really, really interesting U.S. Open.
I just got a question. We do a segment every day called One Timers where people can ask any question. I'll just give them an answer. Somebody asked me, would the winning score be over par? And I think the winning score will be under par, but I think we might have only one player finish under par, because I could be wrong here, but based on the fog and the moisture in the golf course and the fact that the wind has not blown all that hard, even though it's blowing hard because you're all the way out in Long Island, that these are probably the best scoring conditions that we will see all week at the Open. And right now, Ludwig Åberg is at 2 under par by himself.
Yeah, it's funny. Somebody asked me the other day what I thought the winning score would be, and I kind of threw out, I thought it might be like 3 under. We've only had, I think, one time where it was under. That was Retief Goosen. He was 4 under, and he made everything. Phil was 2 under, the only 2 players under par in 04.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. In 2018, Koepka won at 1 over, and he shot 2 under in the last round. Means he was 3 over going into the final round, shot under par, and was still over par. Tommy Fleetwood was 9 over going into Sunday, shot 7 under. They clearly took the brakes off on Sunday and let them have at it after a really treacherous Saturday. So, I don't know. I thought anyway that today was the gettable day.
Yep.
Because they knew that the wind was going to come up. They are definitely afraid of having the issues they've had here before where they're criticized for taking it to the edge. So, we figure that they're going to set it up on the benign side as much as it's possible so that they don't run into any of those problems if it gets windy. So you figure, okay, some guys could go out and put up a number. Maybe somebody shoots 66 or 65 or something like that for one day. And that has not happened so far, and like you said, I don't know. I don't think it's going to get easier. The wind might not be as strong, but the course will have dried out. They can set it up tougher. And so, yeah, I think we're in for, my prediction might be wrong. Maybe we won't have anybody get to 3 under for the entirety of the tournament.
Bob Harig is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Again, you can follow him at Substack on the Daily Drive. I know you recently wrote about some live stuff. I'm not going to really get into it, but I didn't know that the shotgun start was potentially disappearing from live. Of course, that there is every possibility that live could disappear from live even this year, based on some rumors that we have heard. Let me real quick about Rory McIlroy. He didn't play very well at the PGA at Aronimink. He wasn't terrible, but he just wasn't. He couldn't hit the ball in the fairway at all. He seems to have been better. Seems to be better off the tee. If he's reasonably good off the tee, I'm not going to say it's his tournament to lose, but that was really what held him back at Aronimink, no?
It's kind of wild. Rory's strength is the driver. And, and yet he won the Masters not driving it well. But he got away with it. He was so good around the greens. He putted very well. His short game was excellent. And obviously there's a little bit more room there. You can get away with poor driving sometimes. You're not going to get away with it here. You're not going to get away with it, obviously, at the PGA, or at least not much.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. Roy's, I think you said it. It's not been bad. It's not been awful, but it's not been except for the Masters, he's not really contended. And he's sort of been just, he's had a few top 10s. He's been on the outside a little bit. Not awful. Look, he got off to an early good start here. He's even par now. That's perfect. Can you hang in there? Can you find the fairways? These fairways are a little bit wider than normal. They're giving them a little latitude, but if you miss them, good luck. You're seeing some really tough chances out of the rough. I mean, some guys are getting lucky, but not too many. So you got to hit it in play, because these greens are they're not very big, but their character is the fact that there's only certain places you can hit the ball to have a reasonable putt or a reasonable chance to 2-putt. And you could have a 10-footer for birdie, but if you're on the wrong side of the hole, you're not going to 2-putt.
Right.
So it's really about positioning so that you can from the fairway put it in the proper spot. So that's why it's so important for Rory to have to be good off the tee.
Bob Harig is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. What do you make of Scotty Scheffler 3 over through 8? He just double bogeyed, I believe, the 8th hole. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of, thinking that he'd get it together this week. Wind. He should be really good in the wind.
Yep.
Very solid ball striker. He played a lot in the wind in Dallas, growing up. It's his forte, but he's been off this year. He's been his iron play has not been quite as good. Look, I wrote for today that most players would call it a great year if you had a win and 6 other top 4 finishes.
Right.
You'd be thrilled with that. That's what Scotty has.
Yeah.
But because he set this high standard of last year he won 6 times and he won 2 majors.
Yep.
And we just it's sort of a little bit like what Tiger used to deal with. The expectations are higher, and there's nobody who's a better grinder though, and if he can just get it back around par and lurk, that's been his forte over these last few years. He rarely led after the first round. He just kind of hung around, and this is a week where you got to hang around, and so he's not even finished 9 holes yet.
Right.
There's a long way to go, and we'll see. One thing we've noticed about him this year that you've seen the frustration from him more than normal. He's kind of shown some of that, in his play, and that's maybe it's because he's been so good. He's never had to be frustrated, but we've seen more of that from him, and that's something he needs to start to deal with better.
I think we've seen more slow starts from him. It wasn't always leading, but we have seen a lot more over par starts from Scotty Scheffler this year than we have in years past.
No question.
Who else has caught your eye as we were getting into this? Because you look at the leaderboard right now, and other than Oberg, there's a whole bunch of who are those guys. Who has caught your eye among the true contenders this year?
Well, I mean, Patrick Reed is a bit of a sleeper to me. He's up there right now. Reed's reputation before he went to LIV was, he played all the time. He played like 30 times a year.
Yep.
And that's why the whole LIV narrative of playing less was always so funny with him, because he likes to play.
Yep.
And so he kept his DP World Tour membership, and he ended up still playing a lot. But when he left LIV and he started off the year on the DP World Tour, he won twice in the Middle East and lost another tournament in a playoff, and he leads the DP World Tour race to Dubai standings. He's off to a great start, and then totally out of character for him, after the Masters, he didn't play again until the PGA. And after the PGA, he hasn't played again until now. This is only his 3rd tournament going, including the Masters. It's wild. He must be going stir crazy at home. And but you know what? He finished 4th here the last time the U.S. Open was here. He's not got a great U.S. Open record, but he's just that kind of player that, you sit there and you go, wouldn't it be, would you really be surprised if he were up there sort of, as this thing unfolds?
No, I definitely wouldn't be surprised if he was up there, because he's such a great putter. And if he's in play, if he's striking the ball well, he is always going to be a factor. Real quick, final thing for Bob Harig. You can read all his stuff right now on Substack, Daily Drive. Of course, Tiger versus Jack, the never-ending debate. And yes, Jack has more majors, but Tiger was the best player ever. It's just the way I've looked at it. The Cam Young's start to the season, winning the Players, kind of threatening at Augusta. He just could not make a putt at Augusta at all. I think he's +1 halfway through his first round. I mean, I think his game pretty much, if your game fits Bethpage, I think in many ways your game will fit here. It's not the same part of Long Island, obviously, but similar to an extent, golf courses. Your thoughts on Cam Young?
Yeah, I like him a lot. I mean, you're right. The putting let him down at Augusta on that final day. You know, he played with Rory in the last group.
Yeah.
But then he came back, you know, a few weeks later. He won at Doral. Didn't have a great PGA, but was pretty good. He sort of established himself now as a guy who can do it. That Players' Championship win was really impressive. So I like him in tough conditions. You know, those conditions were not easy on the final day at Sawgrass. So, and so why not? I like him a lot this week too. I just like his game. Built now, we've seen once he's broken through and won a couple times, he's sort of built for these tough tests.
Oh yeah.
It's as much of a mental grind as anything, trying to get through, a place like this with conditions like this.
Yeah, the first time I think we really saw Cam Young was 22 at the Open Championship, when people kept waiting for him to fall back. As Rory McIlroy, we all thought Rory or Victor Hovland was going to win that Open because they were 4 clear of the field going to the final round. Cam Young stuck around. Of course, Cam Smith came with, a final round 66 or so to win that event as Rory kind of just...
64.
64, right. Rory just kind of was stuck in the mud, treading water on a day where scoring should have been better.
People forget that Cam Young finished second.
Yeah.
He actually finished ahead of Rory that day. It was a great, but he had that stretch there where he wasn't getting over the hump to win. Now that he's done that, I think that opens the door for more.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. All right, I'm rooting for Rory, Bob, and I'm rooting for you as well. At Bob Harig, the book, Tiger versus Jack. We got to talk more about that next time because we have Tiger versus Jack, Tiger versus Phil, Tiger and Phil. It wasn't versus, although I think we know enough that it was kind of always Tiger versus Phil. Bob, I appreciate your time. We'll talk soon.
Thanks for having me, Adams.
You got
Take
it.
care.
At Bob Harig on Twitter. When we come back, the Knicks are having a parade. The New York City, they've had police issues in the past. Not issues, but issues that needed police presence in the past. Today's parade, they are calling the largest need of police ever.
Wow.
In New York City.
Wow.
Ever.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's supposed to be a joyous occasion.
Well, no, it is. I think this will be a joyous occasion.
Right.
Unlike all the other stuff that they have done since winning the title on Saturday.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this one will be joyous.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Konata Edwards next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
All the corner kicks, all the heart-stopping action, and all the soccer. Listen to 99.9 The Fan and Buzz Sports through July 19th as we bring you full coverage of soccer's biggest event. We'll have match updates, results, and news right through the championship and the awarding of the Golden Trophy. Our coverage of soccer's biggest event is presented by North Carolina Courage and Wake Orthopedics, your winning team for orthopedic care.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. And Gordon and I actually just hung out in Vegas. I don't know what was going on in Vegas. Oh, I think we all know what was going on in Vegas. No, not that. We were there to celebrate a champion. And here's another thing we can celebrate, the freedom to always be able to get the best rate when you get a mortgage. Gordon Miller, the man who invented the no closing cost mortgage back in 1987. He brought it to the Triangle in 1996, and he's been saving people thousands of dollars ever since. Don't worry about what the rate is. The rate's going to come down. It will, because it has to. We got to make sure the market is moving, and when we drop mortgage rates, people can buy homes again. So when the rates come down, you simply refinance free of charge, lower your monthly payment, and never pay closing costs. Save thousands all the time. I'm an 11-time customer. MillerLending.com. Miller Lending, an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 2502146.
Stanley Cup. We are so proud of our team. From Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Visit deepriversportingclays.com.
Dia, can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Handy Hugo's, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Handy Hugo's today.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
I am here with Patrick Day of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I'm on your website. Gutter helmets right on the front of the website. Do you have a gutter helmet to fit my head? I have a small head.
We have a gutter helmet for every head, Adam. So anyhow, if you give us a call, we'll come out and take a look at your windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, and of course we can do the gutter helmet. We have financing programs that are really good. So we have like 12 months with 0 payments for 12 months. You don't have to pay anything. So if you're thinking about home improvements and you're thinking you're saving up for it, just come on and see us, and we'll go ahead and get you set up and get your project done, and you can pay in 12 months from now.
I feel like you're speaking directly to me. If it's for the exterior of your home, there is no better place than the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You can find them online, aluminumcompany.com. Siding, roofing, windows, entry doors, storm doors, and the world-famous gutter helmets. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 1-800-672-4348.
Bull riding contest. I'm signing up.
You've never ridden a bull.
No, but I won playing a new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-off, and I'm on a roll.
But they're loaded with $50, $100, and $200 prizes.
Oh, I'm riding the Widowmaker.
Go for the win with new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-offs and digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.72 to 4.75. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543. This is Adam Gold.
From William, what does Jarvie need to do to get going?
Candy, like sour worms.
Oh, for sure. He's probably one of those psychos that likes warheads.
Yeah, nerds. He would eat those. Yeah, get a whole bag of those, Seth. Go nuts.
Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Konata Edwards, basketball maven, will join us in a matter of moments. Next hour, Corey Lavalette from The Athletic and North State Journal. We'll actually look a little bit ahead for the Hurricanes. A couple of things I read on The Athletic that just kind of made me laugh. They did a every team's most inefficient contract, and the only one for the Hurricanes was Jesperi Kotkaniemi. That's it. And it isn't even that bad a contract, because I think if Kotkaniemi played 80 games, 82 games or 84 next year for, a team that needed him or wanted him, then he would be a relatively productive player. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a 60-point guy, but Jesperi Kotkaniemi can be, a 40-point guy. He can play as your third center, maybe even higher on a team that maybe isn't a contender. And at $4.8 million for 4 more years, judging where the cap is, I mean, that's not terrible at all. So I think he could be, I'd love to see Carolina find a spot for him somewhere around the league where, somebody else can use him. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. It hasn't worked at Carolina. That's it. But that's basically the only, questionable contract Carolina has. And it was more questionable when he signed it 5 years ago than it is today. I think today, I don't think the contract's really an issue at all. In fact, in some ways, I could argue that the contract is a benefit because it's cost certainty for teams. All right, we don't know about contracts going into next year, although it is a conversation that we will have about a contract that was agreed to in the past, but it's time to celebrate the Knicks championship. Their first, they win a title every 53 years, whether they like it or not. Konata Edwards, not the scribe on Twitter, basketball maven. Sir, have we spoke? I think we spoke. We at least texted since Jalen Brunson dragged them to a title.
We have texted. We have texted.
That is true. Just your thoughts on now. Jalen Brunson is like no doubt on New York Knicks basketball Mount Rushmore. He's on there in terms of a player. You just can't do what he did without being on it. So, but your thoughts on what the Knicks were. How come nobody's saying, didn't they get lucky that the Wizards weren't in the playoffs?
Sir, I know exactly what you're trying to do.
Thank you.
There is no Florida Panthers in the NBA,
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, that they can hockey splain or basketball splain this away. Outside of, and again, if you wanted to do that, the only team you can really do that with is the Thunder, and the Thunder got eliminated by the Aliens. So I understand where you're trying to go with this. I was going to try and come up with some sort of asterisk joke because, again, I've seen the same thing on social media with everybody hockey splaining you guys, and I just feel horrified because why are they trying to crap on the parade?
I don't know.
Understand.
I don't know.
understand.
They are, but that's fine. Let them do it. It's all right.
Yeah, exactly.
The cup stays here for a year, whether they like it or not.
Exactly. But like the way I would consider this is one of the most Herculean efforts by a team to win something since like Major League. Because when you start thinking about it, like you have to, not only did Mike Brown and the Knicks win the title, they did it in spite of probably the worst owner in professional sports, James Dolan.
Yes. And isn't it terrible that they give the trophy to James Dolan first?
Exactly. Like,
what are we doing?
Here's the crazy part about this, Adam. And this is all the stuff that came out afterwards. Like, again, had you seen the story about how apparently before the playoffs had even started, James Dolan came into the locker room, apparently had a speech about how the players should abstain from sex for the entire playoffs.
Wait.
I am not kidding.
What year is this? What year is this?
Allegedly, it's 2026. But apparently, that was said. Not only
I'm channeling Mickey Goldfarb here in Rocky. Women weaken legs.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. But it's alleged. Again, there is a story about that. Not only that, apparently, Mike Brown had like nightly post-game meetings with James Dolan, night after night after night. Like, this team won in spite of James Dolan. This goes much higher on the rankings of, holy crap, they actually did it, because normally James Dolan ruins all the vibes.
Yes, well,
and
he
yet
tried.
They still managed to win that in spite of this.
He tried.
He tried.
Not of this crime. Konata Edwards joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Jalen Brunson had 45 of the Knicks' 94 points in the final. They won. Karl Anthony Towns, who I'm not knocking him at all. He didn't have a great final. He fouled out. I think he had 2 points. It was a rough day. Got in foul trouble. They didn't get much out of Mikal Bridges in this in the final. He had some good moments, but he was not great. This really was, for the most part, Josh Hart doing the intangibles. OG Anunoby helping out where Jalen Brunson couldn't do it all, and Jalen Brunson handling the rest. That's the way, in terms of personnel, it's kind of the way the series went. Brunson is a unique being, man. He's the most unlikely of NBA superstars because he's small, he's not athletic, and I don't even know if he's a great shooter. He's just a player that I don't think you can measure.
He is what we would call the statistical outlier to all statistical outliers. Because if I told you in clutch time, The only person who shot a better ball in the finals was Michael Jordan. Would you believe me?
No.
But it happened.
That's crazy.
He shot 52% in the clutch, Adam. 52. Meaning 1 every 2 shots in the clutch largely was going in.
Yep.
That's how good he was. And dare I say it, and this is going to sound blasphemous, but if we always talk about the disciples of the Kobe system and everything else where you just take and make difficult shots, the most direct successor is Jalen Brunson. Knows how to get to his spots, knows how to finish at the rim, knows how to do all of these things. And he does it basically at 5'11". He is he's the outlier of all outliers. When you had the whole Becky Hammond thing about normally you can't win with small guards, she wasn't wrong.
No, she's right.
Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson is the outlier. He is the exception to the rule. That's how special it is. And that's why when Knicks fans start going after Becky Hammond and everybody else that said, yo, you can't win with that dude, they're like, I don't understand. You should be celebrating this guy.
Right.
He is the exception to the rule. He is, as you said, he's on the Mount Rushmore. It's him, it's Ewing, it's Clyde, and it's Bernard King. That's where he is right now. That's how special he is. And I think we're not spending enough time extolling the virtues of exactly what that man did in the finals.
I appreciate you putting Cedric the Entertainer on that list. Konata Edwards. People will get the reference. If you don't understand it, Cedric the Entertainer, Knicks, just do that. You'll see what I'm talking about. Google it. I said after the finals, and I got pushback from some people about this. I think what we watched for 5 games, not 6 games.
5 games, yeah.
For 5 games, I think we watched the greatest NBA Finals performance ever, and I know how great Michael Jordan was. I know how great Magic Johnson, was, especially early in his career, or Kareem. I know about that. But with everything, when you take everything into account, the fact that Jalen Brunson didn't have help, really, other than OG Anunoby. The fact you take his physical attributes, you take the defense that San Antonio tried and for the most part did play against him. The fact that they were behind in every game by double digits, and for him to still post 32.5 points per game and win 4, I cannot fathom a better NBA final appearance. And I got, what about LeBron? I'm like, he's LeBron. He's supposed to do that. This is Jalen Brunson. If you listed the best players in the NBA, are we on at 20 before we get to Brunson?
I think after this year we're to 7 or 8.
Okay.
But your point still stands. The only finals performance I might put up there with this is Isaiah Thomas amongst those bad boys.
Yeah.
Because he closed them out, and he largely did the same thing. But those are the statistical outliers we're going with. We're going with Isaiah Thomas. We're going with Steph Curry to a certain extent. Those are the only guys that you would share that rarefied air with. And even then, no one had as much on their backs as, again, maybe except Isaiah Thomas, than Jalen Brunson. It's those 2 guys. That's it. You want to put Magic there, especially after the 1980s final. I'm not going to argue. I understand completely because, again, what he did playing 5 different positions in one game to close out the Sixers who had Julius Erving.
Yeah.
I completely understand that one. You want to put that one up there, completely cool. But if you're not, I don't think the list is very long if you talk about finals performances. I think you may get to 3, but you're definitely not using more than one hand when you're talking about what Jalen Brunson did in these finals.
All right, what is this parade going to be like? Largest police presence in the history of New York City is needed for this. Now we're going to have one here on Saturday. I don't think it'll be the largest police presence that Raleigh has needed.
It might be. It might.
I don't know. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I know that. But what is this going to be like in New York?
Well, it's going on as we
is it
speak
really?
right now. Yeah, it is going on.
I have golf on one TV.
Yeah, so the funny part is I have some, like you said, I have family members. They went out there They were told at 5 a.m. that they could not get through the checkpoints.
Really?
Yes.
At 5 a.m.?
At 5 a.m.
All right, then.
I've heard some stories that even at 2 a.m. last night, the checkpoints were full. Like, if you did not get there yesterday, you were too late. This is the most popular parade. Like, there's a reason that there was a bunch of ESPN coverage of this live parade. There is a reason for this, because this is like Halley's Comet. You only see it once every 50 or so years.
Yeah.
You don't know necessarily when you're going to see this again. So this parade is absolutely berserk, and some of the highlights I've seen on social media have only buttoned that down even further. It is nuts. It is deserving to be nuts, and I cannot wait for all the social media highlights to come out afterwards.
Yeah, that's how I will consume it. It's a long time coming, and you and I talked about it. To its core, New York City is a basketball town. The Yankees can be on top. Nobody really cares that. I mean, they care, but they don't. Football is football. It's something to get to something else. The Rangers it's a big deal, but it's not the Knicks. Nothing is the Knicks in New York City, and this is. I mean, you could see the Celebrity Row was just nuts, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I know there are people that hated it, but I don't know, man.
I don't understand
people are
why
basketball
people hate
fans.
it, though. I don't there are people that, again, I saw we're doing too much with New York, this, that, and the third. When's the last time you saw New York in this light?
They've been.
When have we talked about this? The last time we ever talked about New York as a sports town in this was maybe 2009.
Yeah,
and that came out, and that was the Yankees, and Empire State of Mind came out, and that song was everywhere and annoyed everybody, including me, who was a native New Yorker. We talk about that, but this was you had 24, 25 million people watching per game. This is the most watched final since 1998.
Yep.
There was no better time to talk about the city of New York, because there are no thirstier fans in sports than Knicks fans. That's the thing I never understood about all the media criticism about this being a New York hagiography of sorts.
The Knicks have been the punchline for the last 30 years. They've literally been and absolutely have deserved it, and it speaks to this. And I'll let you go here because you mentioned James Dolan. Any team can win a title, or great organizations win consistently. It's the reason why I don't expect much from the Knicks going forward, is because they are a terrible organization. They just happen to have put together a great team that had a lot of heart, won a title. Mike Brown finally gets a title. Good for him. A wonderful coach, a good dude. I hope he sticks around. I hope the Knicks don't fall off the cliff, but bad organizations don't ever sustain it, which is why you see a lot of the same teams winning over and over and over again in all sports. My friend, Nada the Scribe, basketball maven, Konata Edwards. Go back and watch the parade on social media, and I will. I'll let you know what if Raleigh's parade matches what we see on New York.
You know what? You just may see me at Raleigh's parade. So we'll
no!
See. I will link. I may come up. I don't know. I'm debating on it. I don't know if I'm allowed because I'm Charlotte media, and I was told I wasn't welcome.
No, you're allowed. You are welcome. You are welcome.
I just had to make sure because again, I saw social media posts saying that we don't love the Canes and everything else like that. I just wanted to make sure that I was allowed before I came up.
You are allowed. I apologize for that line of thought.
Okay. No worries.
Thanks, man.
I will talk to you soon, my friend.
You got it. That's Konata Edwards here on the Adam Gold Show. Yeah, that became a thing for a bit, but whatever. If you like the Hornets and you live in Raleigh, you can, by all means, just like the Hornets. It's fine. Our guy Max here is he's a Hornets fan, right? Brendan comes in. He's a Hornets fan.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just a Hornets fan because he's a basketball fan. He's a Hornets fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, what the Knicks did, because obviously we weren't talking about it because we were otherwise occupied. And by the time we had a show Monday, well, we weren't talking about Jalen Brunson on Monday. We were otherwise, dealing with our own euphoria, which we still are. So we're going to talk to Cory Lavalette from The Athletic and North State Journal next hour. And Cory is putting together maybe has already written a book about this championship season. But so many people, and I didn't want to do it during. How many times have we gotten questions, Victoria, about, well, will the Hurricanes bring back Frederick Anderson, or what are they going to do? And
a lot.
Yeah, right. So the Hurricanes, if you went to, and one of my favorite things has been to watch people go, man, they're going to have to pay Jackson Blake now. Or what is Logan Stankoven going to make? I'm like, those contracts are already signed. Yeesh. So literally, among the 18 skaters and the 2 goalies that dressed for Game 6, the only one that does not have a contract for next year, only one, is Alexander Nikishin. Everybody else is under contract for next year. Only Nikishin, who is a restricted free agent, needs a contract for next year. It is one of the greatest front office performances ever. Ever. They have so much room and flexibility in terms of salary, but they don't have, obviously, a lot of space for somebody. So we will find out what the Hurricanes' plans are in time. They have one draft. They have a first-round pick and I believe a sixth-round pick. That's it. That first-round pick will get turned into a second and a fourth, and then that second will get turned into another second and a third. So they are going to maneuver around the draft board to try to maximize as much as they can. I mean, it's the last pick in the first round. It's not going to get that much. But they have tons of cap room, and they don't need anybody. They don't have to sign anybody other than Nikishin. And I don't think Nikishin will get a contract that is gargantuan by any stretch of the imagination, because I don't think the Hurricanes know what the real value is. We haven't seen the true value of Alexander Nikishin. But what areas, if you were the Hurricanes, would you think about addressing? And I'll simply give you 2 because I do think they could do it. I still believe, and I believed it before the season started. I believed it during the season. Nobody is knocking Logan Stankoven as a center at this point. Nobody is. But they still need another center. It is, you look around the league, and most of the good teams, they're maybe better down the middle, although Carolina was very good down the middle, as it turned out. But Carolina's got one right-handed faceoff guy, and that's Stankoven. Nobody else. Everybody else is a lefty that would take faceoffs. And they don't really have a lot of options to play center. If Jesperi Kotkaniemi could play center, but I don't anticipate him being there next year. He'll be moved. And they'll probably get a third-round pick in exchange for him. That is one way that they will recoup some draft capital through Jesperi Kotkaniemi. But when they trade him, they literally will have just 4 centers. So if Carolina had an injury and they don't acquire another center, they will go into the minor leagues, whether it's bringing up Justin Robidas or Ryan Suzuki if he's still with the team, or Charlie Serrato, second-round pick a couple of years ago, who just signed his entry-level deal because he's a center, although I think he played a lot of wing at Penn State. My point is that Carolina needs another center. And if it's a player who would maybe play in front of Mark Jankowski, well, then it's a center who would play in front of Mark Jankowski. We love Janks, but if you could upgrade that spot, and I think we would all agree that they can, then you do it. Here's the thing about it. I don't care how good your team is. And it is unquestioned that this Hurricanes team was great. If you bring back the same exact team, it won't go as well. You have to there has to be some tweak to the roster, really, to get the most out of the team. It doesn't have to be major change. So, and I'm not even suggesting they go get Dylan Larkin or somebody like that. But the Hurricanes do need another center. And if it's a center who can play in a top 9 role, that's great. That doesn't mean that Stankoven isn't a center. But there's a lot of options for Carolina to get better. A lot of ways they can get better. Adding that, I mean, theoretically, you could add a goalie if Frederik Andersen isn't brought back, and I don't know if he will be or not. I saw some reference to Freddie retiring. I have not heard that. I don't think Freddie will. I don't know if he's going to be with the Hurricanes, but I don't think Frederik Andersen will retire. He played too well in the playoffs to retire. Sorry. Maybe it's never going to get any better for Freddie than winning a Stanley Cup, but I don't think he's going to retire because I think he's going to play, I don't know, maybe 3 more years. He's not too old to be a goalie in the NHL. He just isn't. All right, we'll take a break. Then we will come back and we will stretch. We will place bets. I did pretty well in my my England. Who'd they play yesterday? Forget. Croatia. England-Croatia bet.
Yeah?
It was England to win, both teams to score. Jude Bellingham was one of my 2 anytime goal scorers. The other was Luka Modric, who did not score.
Yeah. My baseball bets went through, both of them, including the Cubs.
There you go. Oh, go
Yeah.
Cubs.
I put zero
By the
money.
way, the White Sox are playing well. That's not sitting well with you.
It stinks. I don't like it. That's actually going to come up in my bets today.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to try to jinx the White Sox.
Sure am.
Next.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from our friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It is the biggest stage in the world, the most popular sporting event on the planet. Billions of people, not hundreds of millions, billions of people. And FanDuel changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them, but not with FanDuel. If your guy, let's just say he's a striker that plays in the Saudi Pro League, he gets subbed off and they bring on a winger who plays in the Premier League, you get that guy instead of the guy who went back home maybe to Saudi Arabia. I don't know. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local. Come on. It's the biggest sporting event on earth. FanDuel. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Carolina Complete Health. From neighborhoods in Charlotte to families in Greensboro, Raleigh, and Durham, all the way to Asheville and Wilmington, and everything in between. We are here for communities across North Carolina, connecting you to the care and support you need. We are here to make healthcare easier to access and understand. We are here to bridge the gap because your health matters. Your community matters. You matter. We are here for your health. Visit hereforyourhealthnc.com.
Electricity. It's what powers our lives, from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Across North Carolina, 26 electric cooperatives serve 2.8 million people, and we are committed to delivering reliable, affordable power. We're not for profit and are driven by service, providing the best possible value for our member owners. We're strengthening the people and communities that make our state great, today and for generations to come. Learn more at ncelectriccooperatives.com.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Cards 7 years in a row, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops. Our philosophy is simple. Be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
Your child's doctor shares your goals, a healthy future for your child. Doctors recommend vaccines throughout childhood because they protect what matters most, your child's future from preventable disease and serious illness. Discuss any questions you have and check that your child is up to date and talk about any concerns. You're right to have questions. Get real answers. Start a conversation with your doctor today. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
Illegal fentanyl is up to 100 times more potent than morphine. A tiny amount is all it takes to cause an overdose. It could be in your drugs, and you wouldn't be able to see it, taste it, or smell it. Learn more at cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
This is Adam Gold.
That's Frederick Anderson joking, believe it or not. Like, it's not great comedic timing.
Right.
But that is
It's
Anderson
there.
joking. You can tell. He's like, I'm not going to play your little games, but I know what you're doing.
Like when he was getting his award last season and he was on the ice and it just looked like he was walking through the park.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Next hour, Corey Lavalette from The Athletic and North State Journal. Then Aaron Fitt, D1Baseball.com, Tar Heels and Oklahoma. Your College World Series final matchup. Best of 3, Carolina and Oklahoma. Right now, what are we doing? We stretch. That's what we do. I forgot.
Yeah. That's what we do now. So yesterday, if you missed our 7th inning stretch, I was talking about the new trend this summer is everything pickle flavored. Like,
right.
Everything. Which people in our stream did say that they have actually tried pickle ice cream, and they said it's gross.
It has to be. It has to be.
I'm not surprised at that at all. But there's a new trend. Are just people really bored? I don't understand this. But TikTok, it did come from TikTok, so that probably says it all.
Sure.
But people are taking hot dogs and dyeing them blue in Gatorade. What? For no reason.
Before they cook them?
So I think what they're doing, because this article says that you can't just soak them, you have to boil them. So
in
it
blue Gatorade.
In blue Gatorade, so it will transfer the coloring.
Okay. Well, you're boiling them, so I mean that's not the best way to have hot dogs.
Right.
But although that's how you get them in the carts. If you go to New York City,
yep.
Get a hot dog off a cart. It's not the greatest hot dog in the world. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
But yeah, they basically they cook them in hot water.
Yeah.
Then you get the bun.
Yep.
This little steam action in the bun, and throw some brown mustard and
Smallest
sauerkraut.
Bag of Lay's chips with it.
No, don't do that. Don't mess with it. Just eat the hot dog and that's it.
Keep
that's
walking.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
do that.
this one.
Then go get a bagel.
I don't know if this is real, but they're trying to say that it also soaks up the electrolytes.
Oh, really?
I don't know how accurate this is, but they definitely
don't try to make.
No, this is so dumb.
Yes.
This is back when they took ketchup and tried to make it purple and green and all these weird colors because they thought kids would like it. And me, I was just like, why are you changing ketchup to purple? It's weird. So, yeah, if you want to give it a go and have maybe red, white, and blue hot dogs, I feel like, for 4th of July, maybe if you just have regular hot dogs, blue ones, and then maybe put like a mozzarella stick, there you can have a little platter of like weird things. So, yeah, I don't, no, that is not a trend that I will be trying, but weirdos are, and you can see it on TikTok if you want to. But you know what else is a good trend? Making good bets.
Let's place your bets, do you? I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal in Bushwood, sir, and I never slice.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you one.
All right, we're gonna. You know me, I'm just all over the World Cup.
Yeah.
Victoria, where are you starting today?
Gotta jinx the White Sox. So, since my Cubbies aren't playing today, let's hope for a White Sox loss. And they are taking on the Yankees. And I will go with the Yankees. And I'll take the over 9.5 plus 205. Please and thank you.
All right, like it. All right, let's. We're going to start with the match. I think it's going to start in a little bit. Switzerland and Bosnia-Herzegovina. A draw, simple draw plus 310.
Okay.
I think we're back to draws today. On what was it, Monday? The entire slate was draw. 4 draws, first time it had ever happened.
Oh wow!
In a World Cup, 4 straight draws. Yesterday was a whole bunch of blowouts, a lot of goals yesterday. I think we're going to be back to some draws today.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We like to draw.
Yep.
Let's look at the Los Angeles Angels. They're taking on the Athletics. Just the Athletics.
That's right.
So let's go with these Athletics, these spunky A's. And I'll go with the under 10. That's plus 185.
Canada, Qatar. Canada wins 2-0. That's plus 500.
Okay. So you know me and golf.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick just to win only. How could you not go with Scotty Scheffler? So let's do it. He's plus 1,200 right now.
Right.
Him and this Ludwig guy is neck and neck in the odds. So there you
This
go.
Ludwig guy. All right.
Yeah.
Mexico, Korea. Draw. Both teams to score. Over 3.5 goals. Plus 1,000.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, biggest sporting event in the world going on right now in North America, and we'll be dealing with it every day, basically, until the middle of July. Frankly, I love it. And FanDuel's got a great idea. It's called the Super Sub, because you can bet an anytime goal scorer, and if that guy comes off in the 60th minute, you're out of luck, right? Not with FanDuel, because you get the guy who subs on for him. For instance, the 3 Lions had a winger who played last year at Newcastle. Next year will play at Barcelona. He was subbed off in the 72nd minute without scoring. The guy who subbed on for him, who played last year at Barcelona and might again, he scored. So if you did the FanDuel Super Sub, you got that guy. So you're a winner. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel.com/local. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Congratulations to the 2026 Stanley Cup champion, Carolina Hurricanes.
Congratulations, Canes, from Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, proud partner of the Stanley Cup champions.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized, hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payment, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone with zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
This feeling is brought to you by Aleve for back pain relief. What feeling is that, you ask? Well, it's the feeling you feel when you have relief from back pain. That move how you want to, not how you have to feeling. That keep going through your day without slowing down feeling. The kind that brings you back to yourself all day long without interruption. Oh, yeah. Because Aleve offers long-lasting pain relief. Feel up to 12 hours of back pain relief with one dose. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Canes light the lamp here.
Cooper Nicholson strokes one, deep to right center field. Schoenfeld goes back and it short hops off the wall. Gavin Gallagher scores. Eric Poulsen hot on his heels. 2-run triple. Coop.
Telling you what, the Heels offense is for real, folks.
Hit well, right field. French backs up onto the track to make the catch. And Carolina is championship bound.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Excited because this time Saturday, the parade will be over, but we'll be out there looking forward to the, I guess, the cherry on top of the season. The final celebration, although we'll celebrate all summer, and the players will celebrate all summer. By the way, coming up in just a couple of minutes in the Wall of Sound, I don't know who set this up. Bless their heart. Jacob Slavin went on with Spit and Chicklets. Hello? It was awesome. It was awesome. We found out a Jacob Slavin first. Actually, a couple of firsts for Jacob Slavin this year, which are interesting, but we'll bring you that in the Wall of Sound. Corey Lavalette will join us in about 15 minutes. We'll look ahead a little bit to what's next for the Hurricanes. Of course, if they don't win the title next year, this year's title won't count in the eyes of many. Won't count. Not good enough. Winning 16 games and losing just 3 in the playoffs this year, they did not prove anything to anybody because you all know that they were playing against a whole bunch of amateur players in the playoffs. There were no professionals left in the postseason. The professionals that were left were all headed for major surgeries and were clinically dead, actually, during the games. That's what we found out. The Vegas Golden Knights declared half of their roster actually deceased, that they were just like being propped up on skates to make it appear as though they had actual players, but they didn't. I'm obviously making all this stuff up. I'm making fun of it because there is a larger hockey universe that is really trying to hunt for excuses as to why the Hurricanes were the best team. And yes, they were healthier. They deserved that because they played the fewest number of games in the playoffs because they were the best team in them. Sorry, that's the way it's supposed to work. All right, we'll do that with we'll talk about that with Corey Lavalette coming up in a little bit. Right now, Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
All right, it's not the only thing going on in terms of the Hurricanes and things like that. And we are going to hear from Jacob Slavin, who was on with Spit and Chicklets. But let's talk about Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback, who was at Texas Tech and is now going directly to the NFL supplemental draft. Don't know how many teams are interested, although he's working out today, and all 32 NFL teams are there. They are represented to watch him. Anyway, the gambling scandal, it is past. Dominique Foxworth from ESPN, as a player, how would you feel playing with him?
I don't think it would matter quite that much. Like, I think it would be something that I'd be aware of, and that'd be the first thing I knew about him. So I'm sure I would have like a little bit of like misgivings about him, but I think ultimately what it would come down to is he good enough? Like, that's what it normally comes down to in football. You play with a lot of guys who do a lot of things, make a lot of decisions, make mistakes, do great things. And what ultimately matters, whether you're going to stay on the team or not, whether we're going to love the player or not, is how much he can help your team play. And I think it's going to be the same thing for Brendan Sorsby, unless he continues to make decisions like this going forward. If this was a one-time thing that happened in college, like, that's a lot of players in the NFL who had one-time really poor decisions, or a series of poor decisions in this case, that led to some sort of punishment. They can play in a league. Most people end up not caring.
All right, now, one question that Dominique Foxworth asked was, is he good enough? Tim Hasselbeck weighs in.
I do think it's going to give some organizations and some people inside the organization, legitimate pause. So I would say that, is going to be the case in the process. And I think that matters for a couple of reasons. Listen, Sorsby's talent, when you look at, quarterbacks, he has first-round talent when you compare him to the physical ability, size, production, stuff like that of other guys that have been recent first-round draft picks. But you also have to factor in, this is quarterback, not defensive line. And so I think the off-the-field concerns at any level, whatever they may be, are different when you're talking about quarterback than another position.
Yes, they are. Pete Thamel from ESPN says there is interest.
Brendan Sorsby is a quarterback who has first-round talent. And when a player like this becomes available in a forum like the supplemental draft, the entire NFL is going to dig in as much as they can. I've been told by both NFL sources and Sorsby's camp that they expect all 32 teams to be at his pro day, which is going to be July 10th in the Dallas area at Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas. His agent, Ron Slavin, told me yesterday that 25 GMs have reached out already directly to him to talk about Sorsby and his availability. Because of the nature of the supplemental draft, where you put in a blind pick, everyone kind of has skin in the game here. And because it's a quarterback who could end up being a franchise quarterback, I'm not saying is, but the talent is certainly intriguing enough, everyone is going to dig in.
That is, franchise quarterback. I had not heard that with Brendan Sorsby, but maybe he is. Quarterbacks come out of nowhere often. All right, switching to the NBA, Tim McMahon of ESPN covers the league, and he says that Jalen Brunson clapped back on the haters.
When the Knicks gave him that $104 million deal, which was average money for a starting point guard, they got roasted for it. People thought they drastically overpaid. Then there's hey, you can't win a championship with a small guard. And look, we're not piling on Becky Hammond. She wasn't alone in that opinion. There's a whole lot of people nodding along. Nobody really believed that Jalen Brunson could, I shouldn't say nobody, most people didn't believe Jalen Brunson could beat that guy in a championship team until it happened. And it happened with him scoring 45 points in an elimination game against Area 51, against Stephon Castle, against Victor Wembanyama. He will never, ever, ever be doubted again.
All right. Well, that is true. For me, it's the most incredible NBA final performance I've ever seen. And there are a lot of ways to, just to explain it or to prove that I'm right, even though it's not proof because it's just an opinion. 45 of 94 points in the final game. Almost half of your team's output. Just absolutely remarkable. 32.5 points per game during the series. He was not very efficient, but it doesn't really matter. When you get to the playoffs, the only thing that matters is did you win? And Jalen Brunson dragged the Knicks to wins. It was not the most beautiful series we've ever seen. San Antonio blew a bunch of leads. San Antonio was almost always way better in the first half than they were in the second half. The Knicks always managed to come back. And they came back almost exclusively because of Jalen Brunson. Just absolutely amazing what he was able to do. He put himself in a category of New York sports legends that largely features New York Yankees, but you brought the Knicks, you brought New York City an NBA title in spite of the fact that your owner is James Dolan. It is absolutely remarkable. Anyway, let's get a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Cory Lavalette. The Jacob Slavin clip we have to edit, so apologies before we can air it. So we're going to wait until after Cory Lavalette to do it because it really is a great bit from Jacob Slavin. We'll do that in a little bit. Cory Lavalette joins us next.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Let me officially put to rest and retire some phrases that I have heard too many times. Let's retire Rod Brind'Amour's system can't win a Stanley Cup. Let's retire Sebastian Aho can't be a Stanley Cup champion first-line center. Let's retire the goalies aren't good enough for the Stanley Cup. The Canes won. Retire them.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Congratulations to the 2026 Stanley Cup champion, Carolina Hurricanes.
Congratulations to the Canes from Parkway Sleep Health Centers in Cary. Sound sleep, sound health.
A bull riding contest. I'm signing up.
You've never ridden a bull.
No, but I won playing a new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-off, and I'm on a roll.
But they're loaded with $50, $100, and $200 prizes.
Oh, I'm riding the Widowmaker.
Go for the win with new Bucks Loaded Edition scratch-offs and digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.72 to 4.75. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes, winners of the 2026 Stanley Cup. They fought hard all year and have reached the top. Great work on an incredible season. Brought to you by Smith Anderson Law Firm, where winning performance meets over a century of trusted counsel.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite play his acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The golf season is here. Time to upgrade your game. Head to Global Golf and explore Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf clubs. Whether you're just getting started or been playing for years, our expert staff will fit you with the perfect clubs. Plus, trade it in and save big on your next set. Global Golf makes it easy to turn your previously played equipment into serious savings. Visit us at 7320 ACC Boulevard in North Raleigh. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
This is Adam Gold.
540.
Yeah.
Right, the big outer belt loop. Why don't we just call them inner loop and outer loop? Don't give me north, south, east. It changes. It's a circle.
Yeah, they should. They use it for belly buttons.
Right? Inner and outer.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Use it for belt lines.
All right, I'm done with the rant.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. We are still basking in the glow. Look behind us. If you're, can we get a two-shot? Is that what it's called, a two-shot? We have the entire studio available for people to see on YouTube. You can watch the show on YouTube. YouTube, search Adam Gold Show. Look at that. We have a picture of the Stanley Cup. There are actually names written on there. I can't see them from where I am, but I can see that there are names there. And we have Stanley Cup champs 2026 on either of the side panels. It is awesome. That will be forever, in spite of what the haters have to say. Corey Lavalette from The Athletic and North State Journal at Corey Lav on Twitter is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. I feel like I haven't really spoken with you. I've only asked you media coverage questions. I apologize for that during the run. So I don't know what still runs through your head. And I know you have a book coming out about the title. So by all means, tell us the title of the book. But what stands out to you the most of what we watched for the better part of 2 months?
You know, the thing that stands out to me, and I know you're hinting at the controversy of whether or not this was hard enough for the Hurricanes.
Oh, no, it was not. Corey, they played 2 prep schools and the Erie Otters just to get to the Vegas Golden Knights, who I believe it's on record now, they used 7 players who were clinically dead during the series. So the title does not really count.
And an incompetent coach, apparently, since he's now gone.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, I think the other thing that has been, simmering around is, whether or not Jordan Stahl deserved to be the Conn Smythe winner. And, I think there's arguments to be made for other people. I don't think that there's enough arguments to be made for the vote to be different. But I think what we can take away from this is the fact that you could name 5, 6 guys and say, man, any of these guys could be Conn Smythe winner kind of is proof of what the Hurricanes have built in work. The fact that you can, build a team without a quote superstar and still win because your depth, because the talent, the depth, not just the depth at the bottom, but the depth of talent is so good that you overwhelm other teams and you end up with a Conn Smythe vote, which really wasn't close. Let's be honest.
Right.
I don't know why we're having a debate about a vote that wasn't close. I saw Greg Wyshynski. Greg Wyshynski said he was, the people who covered the entire run,
right.
Whatever, all voted for Taylor Hall, and that's not true. All of the Hurricanes beat writers voted for Jordan Staal, and last I could tell, I think I'm the only one who was at every game. So, me and Walt Ruff, who works for the team.
Right.
So, So, I mean, to me, that's the big thing that you take away from this is that you can have a debate about, there's, Taylor Hall and Logan Stankoven and Jackson Blake and Nick Ehlers and Keandre Miller and, Brandon Bussey's name came, Elliot Friedman talked about Brandon Bussey, thought about giving him a vote.
Right.
Certainly Frederick Anderson, I think that's just a testament to what they've built and what they were able to do.
Corey Lavalette, North State Journal and The Athletic, is joining us here at Corey Lav on Twitter. I agree, Jordan Staal, because here's the thing. Sometimes, I would have to go back and look, but I can't imagine that you could win the Conn Smythe, at least in modern hockey where there were, multiple playoff rounds, and we've had 4 playoff rounds, I think, for like 60 years now, or maybe 40 years, 45 years, whatever it is. But in modern playoff hockey, I can't imagine a non-goaltender with fewer than 12 points. Just 12 points from Jordan Staal in the playoffs. So people look at that, but we know that his value is way beyond that. He was 68% in the faceoff circle in the final. That is just incredible. Opposing centers, I'm told, didn't scratch against him at all in the playoffs, and he always draws. Well, on the road, it's a little bit more difficult to get that matchup, but he almost always is playing against the other team's best guys. So it was just a remarkable playoff run for him.
Yeah, and it's what he does all the time. It's just you add in, when you sprinkle in now the fact that he had this amazing goal bender, and not just goals, but just monstrous goals. And a signature goal, the falling down backhand, all of those things. You take it all, and there's no way you can deny, what he's meant to this team over 14 years, over the last 8 years, and certainly this playoff run.
Corey Lavalette is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. He should have gotten up and done the Heisman, right? He should have, when was it, when Desmond Howard made that diving touchdown catch for Michigan, 30 years ago, he got up and did the Heisman. That's what Staal should have done. He had his own Heisman moment. That was one of the great moments of the playoffs. Nick Ehlers getting him the puck, but really Seth Jarvis was denied on a glorious opportunity, fought to get the puck back, and I don't think enough has been talked about with those types of effort. And that's really what was instilled upon all of these players. It's those types of plays that Carolina lived on all year, and especially the playoffs, that it's almost like they were part of every goal. The second goal of Game 6, the Jackson Blake goal, that's Stankoven and Blake, 2-on-4, being just total pests, and Noah Hannafin was tied in knots, couldn't do anything with the puck, couldn't get it away from Stankoven or Blake. That was just an amazing play.
Yeah, two guys that, people haven't believed in throughout their career, whether it's because of their size or because of where they were drafted, going against a guy that was a prodigy.
Yeah.
And to Noah Hannafin's credit, he definitely was banged up. Jordan Martin clearly hurt him earlier in the series, but that's what the playoffs are about. And, you've mentioned so many guys right now, and that's the other thing. We talked a little about guys that could have won, the Conn Smythe. But really, if you just go down the lineup, who didn't have a major moment throughout this entire postseason? Maybe Alexander Nikishin didn't, but the guy's a rookie. Everyone else in the lineup, you go top to bottom, had a quote moment. Like, you mentioned Seth Jarvis. He is the overtime winner. He also goes 1-on-4 to set up that stall goal. Aho has that big goal in Game 4. Just amazing, show of talent. Svechnikov obviously had 2 big goals, tying the one that they lose in double overtime, but also an overtime winner. You can go Sean Walker. I mean, we can go top to bottom with the whole team and say, here's a moment for this guy. Here's a moment for this guy. And that's what really I think should stand out to everyone is if you're going to make a team built on depth, you need all those guys contributing. And not only did they contribute just in a normal way, but every single guy had a moment. This is a pivotal moment in our postseason, and that's what stands out to me.
But you're right. There really were. We could that. There's a story right there. Everybody's signature moment, because they all. I mean, Jankowski had it. Carrier had it. Robbins. They all had them. Every single one of them had some play that either changed the game, helped them win. It was absolutely incredible. It really was a team effort. The Aho goal will live with me forever in how quickly he was able to get it skate to stick and then go bar net just under the crossbar it was a thing of beauty. And I don't know how you took his reaction to it. I took it differently than a lot of people, and maybe this is me being a Sebastian Aho apologist, and I've been accused of that before, and I ain't even going to deny it. I don't think it was him releasing the frustration of not having scored, because I don't think Sebastian really cares that much about that. He only cares about the win. But he knew how big a goal that was. He knew that was as close to the final nail for Game 5 as you were going to get. 3-1, the way they were playing, because I thought they were clinical in Game 5. I just thought that goal was such a big deal for the team. I don't think he cared about it himself.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I think, and you saw it in the cup handoff, right? Frederick Anderson goes to give it to Sebastian Aho, and he says no. Yep. Taylor Hall should get this. Like, you hit it dead on, which is that's a guy who, he honestly does not care. He could finish a season with 3 points, and if he were to win a Stanley Cup, he would not care.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's a cliche thing that we say. I think if people really got to talk to Sebastian a lot, and I mean, to me, the Players Tribune stuff is kind of cheesy because it's all kind of, polished through a thing. But there's a lot of truth in, what he had to say in that. That I thought was a good job of explaining how that guy just wants to win, and he's, these guys who have hockey dads or hockey families, we heard Nick Ehlers talk about his dad. Those guys get it, they just flat out get it. And you look up and down the lineup, and all these guys came from vastly different backgrounds, right? I asked, they had Taylor Hall and Sean Walker up there before Game 6, and it dawned on me. I'm like, here's an undrafted guy.
Yep.
And here's a former first overall pick and Hart Trophy winner. And nobody who knows this team would look at those two and say, oh, those are two guys on different levels as far as hockey players. They would just say, man, those are two huge pieces in a machine.
No, it really is interesting. I remember you bringing that up, and I think I'll take it one step further. I could argue that this is the best that Taylor Hall's ever played and the best that Sean Walker has ever played, which speaks to a lot of things. It speaks to the environment around this team and what Rod Brindamore and others have helped to create. So let me ask you, Cory, because I know you think about this. And by the way, what's the title of the book? That's, I don't know when it's coming out. It's got to be coming out soon. You've probably already written it.
Yeah, so it's it's a compilation of a lot of the stuff through the season and a lot of photos and stuff. Just kind of a really cool kind of keepsake thing. It's called Perfect Storm, and I did it with Triumph Books. So they reached out to me before the playoffs start and kind of said, hey, if this team does it, we want somebody who, has been around him all year. So that was me, I guess.
Yes.
And so yeah, it's it's a pretty cool book, and it's like I said, lots of illustrations, has stories from every game of the playoffs in it, and some other stuff, stories from throughout the season. Things that went on, and some stuff that's strictly on the ice, some stuff that's off the ice. Like Frederik Andersen going through concussion protocol and things like that. Just a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, it was a neat little thing to do. It definitely added more to my plate than than I probably needed.
It's all right.
It was kind of funny because they want to push it out as quickly as possible,
Sure.
and it should start showing up places pretty soon. But they told me that before Game 6, they're like, well, we'll have you a final cover proof, and we'll have you a final cover proof by about 3:30 or 6:30 a.m. and a final book proof by a little bit after that. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound too bad until I realized they're talking East Coast.
Oh, wow.
So after the game, I stayed up and waited till, I ended up getting about 45 minutes of sleep before I had to get back on my plane to fly to Charlotte and then to Raleigh. So, so for all those people that were out partying all night, I was doing the journalist version of partying, I guess, just looking at page proofs.
Cory Lavalette. All right, so how does this team get better? Everybody signed. Of the 20 people who dressed for Game 6, only Alexander Nikishin doesn't have a contract for next year. How did they get better?
They're going to be looking at everything. I mean, they do not rest on their laurels. So I think, anything that's out there, I know their name hasn't necessarily come up in the Dylan Larkin stuff, and he has a little bit of control there. But if that guy wants to win and he wants to play for a coach who likes him, I mean, I think Rod Brindamore wanted to draft that guy in his draft year. And I think he has a lot of, admiration for the kind of player he is. And let's be honest, Jordan Staal had a amazing postseason, but, he's getting up there in years. You're going to need replacements down the road. And you're never in a better position to add guys and have them, have a little bit of leverage in the way you add them, whether it's free agency or whatever, then coming off a Stanley Cup, right? Everybody wants to win. And if you are an outsider looking at this team saying, I can't even imagine, what is that Stankoven, Blake Hall line going to look now that they have all the confidence in the world coming out of Game 1? We've spent enough time, we spent enough time talking about, the Hurricanes need a second-line center. I think that's, dead. We don't have to worry too much anymore about but let's say you go and get a Dylan Larkin. If you're down the middle in whatever order you want to put them, Aho, Stankoven, Larkin, Staal, how does the team even handle something like that? We went from the Hurricanes maybe aren't that strong down the middle to, good Lord, what they have right now is pretty darn good. Mark Jankowski's a hell of a player too.
Yep.
So I think they're going to look at everything. They got a couple guys who are nearing the end of their contracts. I mentioned Staal. Martinook's got a year. Chatfield's got a year.
Goss to spare.
Yeah, Ghost has that. But they have prospects too. That's the other thing. I think, we're probably going to see some off-season surgeries. I can't help but then I'm going to try to pry this out of Seth Jarvis, with the little bit of time we'll have to talk to him, during the parade situation.
Yeah.
Just about, I know he's needed shoulder surgery for like 2 years. He didn't want to do it last summer because of the Olympic stuff, I imagine. And, so maybe this is the time that happens. But they have prospects that can, Bradley Nadeau deserves a shot. And if you're missing one of your top 9 forwards like Seth Jarvis, that's a good window for him to maybe come in and let's see what he has. They also have those guys to use as assets. If they want to get better, all of that is available to them. So cap space, assets, draft picks, they can do whatever they want. I would just be scared to trade with them. If I was another team, they haven't made a mistake since Eric Tulsky took over.
Right.
There hasn't been a mistake.
I agree. And if you start with the Mikko Rantanen trade, what did Carolina have, and then what they got out of that trade, it's a landslide in their favor. And this is knowing that Martin Necas had a 100-point season, and we know how good Jack Drury is as a depth defensive center. But they netted Stankoven, Hall, and Keandre Miller, and they still have, I shouldn't say they still have a first, because they also threw a second and a player, and Scott Morrow at the Rangers. But essentially, just in terms of players, they got Stankoven, Hall, and Keandre Miller for Martin Necas and Jack Drury. I think you'd make that.
And had the money to sign Nikolai Ehlers.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and he was, to me, he was the replacement for Necas, and as much as I loved Marty, I mean, that's an improvement. That's a better overall player for Carolina than Necas was.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, that's kind of what I've been saying is, and again, Necas is a wildly talented player. But Ehlers had a buy-in that I think maybe wasn't always there from Necas. Not so much a buy-in on working hard, but a buy-in on doing it the way the team wants you to do it.
Yeah.
And then furthermore, Ehlers really bought into having to play defensively. If they had pitched him in the summer of,
right.
Nick, we really want you here, and I think you'll be a great fit, and we want you to play with Jordan Staal and Jordan Martino. I'm gonna guess he's gonna say that's not really what I want.
Right.
But I think once he saw what that was all about, and the way he committed to it, it's just really impressive. You have to have guys who want to do, who want to, Rod uses the pull the rope thing. That's what you need. You need guys who all want to pull it the same way. And there have been guys here who haven't wanted to pull it the same way. And I'm not trying to bash Necas. I think he's a good guy, and I think he was doing his best. But I think there were moments where there were things the team wanted him to do, and he thought his way was better. We've seen guys like Eric Halla who thought his way was better. Michael Bunting, I don't think he was so much that as he couldn't figure out how to play the man-on-man defensive system.
Right.
And so you just if you can't buy in, or you can't, physically or mentally handle the rigors of what this team expects out of you, then they're like, hey, we'll go find an Eric Robinson who will do that. And he might not score 20 goals, but you know what? He's going to do it right every shift. You pull Mark Jankowski off of a scrap heap, and the guy comes in and he's a great fit, and a great guy
Super.
too. Nick Delorier doesn't play a whole lot for you, but what a locker room guy that guy is.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see him back.
I agree. I could certainly see a contract for him, if for no other reason than he knows all the words to what that Neil Diamond song, Sweet Caroline, which he clearly led everybody in singing. Plus, he can play whatever that was, the Vuvuzela. He is certainly a top-notch partier, and we have learned. I still, if you get a chance, you got to ask Logan Stankoven what he was wearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's a onesie? I don't know.
That's what I thought. That's what I called it. I called it a onesie.
Logo?
Somebody told me it was a poncho. I have never seen it before, but I want one. So I would like to ask Logan Stankoven where he got it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they're having fun right now for sure, and I think it'll be a whole summer of that. But it's going to be a short summer too. Let's not forget that.
Yep.
It's going to be a real short summer for Darren York and Eric Tulsky because it's right back to it now.
Yeah, the draft is coming up, and I mean we all agree the Hurricanes are going to take that first, and they're going to try to turn it into 4 draft picks, no matter where those picks are. But there's a lot. We'll talk again very soon, Corey. Good luck. Perfect Storm. Go to Barnes & Noble. I'm sure it'll be out there, or find it on Amazon. And I will talk to you very soon, my friend.
Thanks, buddy.
You got it. Corey Lavalette here from The Athletic and North State Journal. When we come back, Aaron Fitt's in Omaha, and he's with the Tar Heels. Tar Heels are going to play Oklahoma for the College World Series title. Cannot wait. Aaron Fitt joins us next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. It is the biggest stage in the world, the most popular sporting event on the planet. Billions of people, not hundreds of millions, billions of people. And FanDuel changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them, but not with FanDuel. If your guy, let's just say he's a striker that plays in the Saudi Pro League, he gets subbed off and they bring on a winger who plays in the Premier League, you get that guy instead of the guy who went back home maybe to Saudi Arabia. I don't know. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local. Come on. It's the biggest sporting event on earth. FanDuel. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Are you ready to make a difference? Become Mental Health First Aid Certified with the Governor's Institute. This free one-day training will give you the skills to recognize, understand, and respond to mental health and substance use challenges. Whether you're a friend, coworker, or caregiver, you can be the support someone needs. The training is available in person or online and is open to everyone. No experience required. Take the first step today. Visit milvetacademy.org to learn more.
If you are on Medicare, scammers may target you to steal your identity. Remember, Medicare will never call you asking for personal details. The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medicare Patrol program is here to protect you from fraud and provides you with knowledge to stay safe. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Carolina Complete Health. From neighborhoods in Charlotte to families in Greensboro, Raleigh, and Durham, all the way to Asheville and Wilmington, and everything in between. We are here for communities across North Carolina, connecting you to the care and support you need. We are here to make healthcare easier to access and understand. We are here to bridge the gap, because your health matters. Your community matters. You matter. We are here for your health. Visit hereforyourhealthnc.com.
Electricity. It's what powers our lives. From the ordinary to the extraordinary. Across North Carolina, 26 electric cooperatives serve 2.8 million people. And we are committed to delivering reliable, affordable power. We're not for profit and are driven by service, providing the best possible value for our member owners. We're strengthening the people and communities that make our state great, today and for generations to come. Learn more at ncelectriccooperatives.com.
If you want the nation's best auto insurer, look no further than North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Rated #1 in Crash Network's Insurer Report Card 7 years in a row, we're the only insurer in the nation to receive an A+ rating from auto body shops. Our philosophy is simple: be fair, be quick, be the best. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
No matter your struggle, you are not alone. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is free, private, and always available. If you feel lonely, isolated, anxious, or overwhelmed, help is here all day and night. Call, text, or chat 988 without cost, without judgment, and without waiting for an appointment. You'll get support that can make a difference. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
Let's put out this campfire.
Dad, Smokey Bear said to.
Drown it with water, stir it with a shovel, and repeat until cool.
Wow, where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
One Adam. Gold. One Adam. Gold.
Turtle cake? Like, what are we... What?
Isn't that an ice cream?
What? Where's the confetti cake? Because, hello, confetti cake, delicious. With the little, I don't even know if it's real, but the little dots in the icing, like...
None of these are real.
What kind of fake thing that is, but it's delicious. It's my childhood. Like, that wasn't in the top 10. His opinion's invalid to me.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's like the 4th straight day of theme music.
I know. I know. It's not easier the more days that go by. So we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Fine. Just keep doing it. Let's keep basking in it.
Yeah.
People think I'm crazy, but if you look around social media, the Hurricanes didn't play anybody. They didn't play adult teams.
No.
They played,
The little boy leagues.
Bunch of U18 clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, they played. Vegas didn't have any living players. Those were all corpses.
Yeah.
Zombies.
They were graphics, actually.
Yeah.
It's just AI.
It was. They were. I don't know. I'm still sleep deprived. I can't come up with anything.
Yeah.
They were holograms. That's what they were playing.
That's it.
All holograms.
I knew I saw Michael Jackson.
Exactly. All right. Aaron Fitt, D1Baseball.com. He is in Omaha because it's an off day. We have caught him between rounds. You're going to play 36 today. That's the best way to celebrate the U.S. Open, Aaron Fitt. First of all, how'd the first round go?
Winners win, Adam. Winners win. That's all you need to know.
Perfect.
We got the job done.
No pictures on the scorecard. All right. Let's talk about the Tar Heels, who had no problem in the first weekend of the NCAA tournament getting through that regional, but then had problems. Lost the first game to Southern Cal. They were down 3-1, right? Late in the third game of that Super Regional Series, but walked it off, and now have gone back to not really having any problems.
Yeah, I mean, really, I think it's one of those things. Any championship team, your narrative has to have that scare, right? Nobody just waltzes through all the way. I mean, even the teams that they go 10-0 in the postseason, there's got to be one of those kind of just hold your breath moments. And for North Carolina, that was the Super Regional. I mean, they were. Again, remember, they were winning handily in game one, and then they kind of got stunned, slapped in the face by that grand slam, and a game that they should have won and lost. And then, all of a sudden, you got your back against the wall, and I think it's a character testing moment. And they passed it. That was it. That third game down 3-1 when they're pressing offensively, couldn't get anything going, and it's just the one guy, Owen Hall, just put him on his back. And had the 4 doubles and just gave him a little bit of life in the 8th inning, and then the 9th. And then you get to Omaha, and we're just running now. We're just sprinting downhill, and they look really, really good. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. They're firing on all cylinders right now.
Aaron Fitt, D1Baseball.com, great clubhouse guy at Aaron Fitt on Twitter. Well, you are. That's how I address you now. The Tar Heels were only the 5th overall seed. But I know that there were a lot of people who thought this might end up being the best team. What held them, I guess, to say that what held them back to not being the number 1 overall. Why were they the 5th overall seed, but right now we know what they are?
Yeah, well, part of it was, UCLA had a historic regular season. They were going to be the number 1 national seed. And I know that it was a struggle for them at the end of the year, and they lost in the regional, but they went wire to wire number 1 on all the rankings. And then Georgia Tech had this historically great offense. And, the only weekend that they lost all year long was at North Carolina. And, so both of those teams, Georgia Tech and North Carolina, had one series loss all year. And then Carolina had the head-to-head, but Tech resume was just a little bit better with some of the quality wins. And if you were looking at the metrics, for instance, North Carolina's record against the other 15 hosts was something like 2-2. And Auburn out of the SEC was 14-13. Just a lot more games against those teams. And that's why they didn't get a higher national seed. But, I mean, we had them ranked number 2 in our top 25 for, the last 6 weeks or so of the regular season. I mean, they were well regarded as one of the very, very best teams in the country for basically all year long. I mean, it was an incredibly consistent season.
Aaron Fitt, D1Baseball.com, is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. How do they match up with Oklahoma?
It's a great matchup because both these teams, went 3-0 in their brackets in Omaha, which means they're set up perfectly on the mound. It's more experience in the starting rotation for North Carolina. Jason DeCaro is a 3-year weekend starter who's been pitching some of his best baseball now in the postseason these last 2 weeks. I mean, the two-hit shutout to put him, kind of on his back in the Super and was huge. That was the best performance of his career, and he came back with a really strong showing in Omaha. And Ryan Lynch, the big, power sinker slider guy, who's going to be a good draft pick this year. It's a good 1-2 punch with more experience than Oklahoma has now. But Oklahoma's their guys are electric. I mean, it's really it's 3 freshmen that they're using as starters now, and they didn't do that until late in the year, and so it's not a super long track record of starting for Xander Mercurius and Cord Rager, especially Mercurius. But I mean, we wouldn't know it watching them now. They're pitching like veterans. They're just unflappable. You can make a case that those 2 guys, Rager and Mercurius, are more electric than Carolina's guys even. But Carolina's got probably the bullpen advantage. With Caden Glauber, who's, I mean, right now it's like the best pitcher of the country. He's as a true freshman who enrolled early. I mean, he should be just graduating high school right now. I mean, he's the guy.
Doesn't he throw 97?
Yeah, 97 from like a low slingy slot with life and a ridiculous slider, and he's got a changeup too, but it's really the fastball slider, and it's command. It's just, how does this kid at, I don't know, 17, 18 years old, how does he have this kind of command with this kind of stuff? It's bonkers. But I still think him and McDuffie, that's probably Carolina's biggest advantage relative to Oklahoma's bullpen guys. They got guys too in the bullpen, but that's where UNC can, I think, really win the game is in those late innings.
Carolina's had a breezy is probably not the right way of putting it, but maybe it is. I don't know. Does any team have an advantage in terms of rest, health, etc. as we head to Saturday?
Comparable. I mean, really, both of them, they went 3-0, kind of breezed through their brackets on both sides. They're both set up perfectly, with their order on the mound. Both of them are swinging the bats really well, too. That's the thing. I mean, it's different, though, because Oklahoma all year long was not a home run hitting team. And then all of a sudden in the postseason, they've kind of gone bananas with the home runs. And I mean, I think they had almost as many home runs just yesterday against Georgia as North Carolina has hit in the entire postseason.
Right.
So, I mean, all of a sudden this Oklahoma offense, which has always been predicated more upon speed and just putting pressure on you with the running game, they're hitting the ball out of the yard a lot. And so they're just hot right now. And North Carolina, though, they're not hitting as many home runs, but they're also hot offensively. It's just a lot of doubles and just great execution on offense, which I do think is a style of play that, regardless of conditions, will play in this ballpark. Whereas if you're long ball dependent, the wind plays a huge factor in this ballpark. And yesterday with it blowing out, Oklahoma took advantage. But, I think they're also able to play a different style as needed. So, right now, I mean, it's just Oklahoma is not the team they were all season long. They finished 11th in the regular season in the SEC, lost their last 4 regular season series. But right now they look like they're right. There's a reason they just knocked out Georgia, the SEC champion, and they beat them twice handily. I mean, there's a reason they're in the championship series. It's because right now North Carolina and Oklahoma are the 2 best teams in the country, and it doesn't matter what happened in the regular season.
Aaron Fitt, D1Baseball.com, great clubhouse guy. You're wanted on the first tee. If you don't win the second 18, nothing. And you have to beat the Florida Panthers as well in order to win your match. Otherwise, it will be invalidated by all the people in Canada.
Well, it's true that my first 18 today, I avoided Berkey and Peterson and Ravi. They were in the other group.
Yep.
I took care of business against, Mike Monaco and company, but everyone knows I got to take down Berkey or it doesn't count.
Nobody will care unless you beat the best. Aaron Fitt, you're the man. I appreciate your time.
All right, Adam, you got it.
You got it. All right. Couple of things before we get out of here. We have U.S. Open round 1 underway. The leader right now is Rory McIlroy at -3. I stopped watching it. I'd been watching it, and I've had it in front of me the entire day. And Rory was just kind of plodding along, bunch of pars, birdie here, bogey here, birdie here. But he was even, and then just went on a little bit of a birdie binge. They are playing the 7th hole right now, which is actually a pretty famous hole at Shinnecock called the Redan hole, which is a par 3 where the green tilts from front right to back left. Rory hit his tee shot into a greenside bunker, so he's got to get up and down to save par. But he is 3 under par through 15 holes today, playing his 16th hole right now. So it's been pretty good for Rory. He's got about 10 feet for par on the 7th hole. But normally for the U.S. Open, I'd be completely geeked. I would know exactly where everybody's playing with, when they tee off, all of that. I have not paid any attention at all. And today, It might be a little bit inside of 10 feet, maybe 7 or 8 feet for par. I literally did not know who was playing with who or when they were teeing off. So, I had to find out this morning when I got up. I am one of those people who watches all the Golf Channel shows leading up. The last time I had Golf Channel on, it was we were flying out to Vegas. I guess it was the previous week. I don't even know. And I was just watching golf while, and I think I was watching the women's Open. I don't know what I was watching. I was watching golf when other people were watching basketball. I was just trying to unwind.
Yeah.
Turn my brain off. All right. So the parade is Saturday. Celebration. They're calling it a celebration, though it's a parade. Downtown Raleigh. I believe the ceremony, when they honor the team when the parade is over, it's not that long a parade route. When they honor the team, it'll be on Fayetteville Street in downtown. I know we're going to be broadcasting not from that particular location, but somewhere along the route we are going to be. And I am looking forward to capping off a week-long celebration and let the guys go back to their lives, although I'm sure they are very happy to continue celebrating.
Yeah. And they're estimating anywhere. They're saying over 100,000, but now there's a new estimation of 125,000 to 150.
I don't know how you can know
where
that.
are they going to go? Where are they, where's their...
Right, but I don't know how you would know that.
No clue, but that's the latest.
Are you asking people who are coming?
No, I'm reading some article.
No, but how do they know?
How do they know?
How do they know?
Who knows? Maybe they asked the tarot card person, even though she got it wrong, thankfully.
Oh, did the tarot card person?
She thought Vegas was going to win Game 7 or Game 6.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that.
Glad she got it wrong.
What did the Corgi say? Do we know what the...
we stopped listening to the Corgi after the Montreal series.
Oh,
that's
got right. That wrong. The Corgi picked. Do we know it's a he? The
Maybe,
Corgi is a he?
Potentially.
I have a Corgi and it's a she.
And it's a she.
Right.
Well, we established that this one, since yours is named Harriet, this one might be Henry. So
could be.
In my brain, I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, but he's wrong. That's what he was.
The Corgi was wrong, and we stopped caring about the Corgi.
Right.
Tarot card reader was wrong for Game 6. She said
out.
Vegas would win Game 6. And did she say Carolina was going to win in Game 7, or she was just going
I don't know,
because
after Game 6, it was like, well, you're good for nothing now.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe tarot card reading is an exact science.
Probably not.
I don't believe it is.
No, I don't think so.
By the way, McIlroy made his par putt at his 3 under par, leading the U.S. Open. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Victoria, thank you very much. Maybe we'll talk Hurricanes tomorrow. I don't know. Probably a little bit. Just a little. Just a little. Have a good day, everybody.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade on the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage